trip, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome to the Woodward Heavyweight Live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. Appreciate you tapping in. I am Spencer, Nick, Eazy, Chris. We're all having a good time here. It's a great day in Detroit. Beautiful outside. My soul has left my body. At least the Tigers are good. At least we get a couple months of Tigers. But that fucking sucks.
Yep.
It hurts, man. It hurts. It's. Yeah. I mean, I know this team overachieved. I know this team exceeded expectations. They took care of business, but man, they should have won that series. That was a very winnable series, and they let multiple games get away from them. Obviously, lost all three at home, and that's just a tough way to get sent home in the first round. But hats off to them for doing what they did. The biggest turnaround in the history of the NBA. First team ever to triple their win total. Getting that 6th seed. Winning 2 games on the road in the playoffs is not an easy feat. Sucks. But on to baseball season. I know Easy's happy for that.
Fucking awesome, dude. Cannot wait to talk baseball every day, to go deep into every single game like Javi did last night. But no, last night, I'm the opposite, Spinny. I'm proud of this team. I really am. From the 14 wins last season to what we saw this year was amazing. For the amount of belief that we had in Cade Cunningham that hadn't really come to fruition outside of a few statistical points was amazing. My point on the whole Jaden Ivey stuff was proven amazing. I'm happy.
That's terrible.
I'm proud of this team.
Horrible.
I really am. Like, I try to set proper expectations even before the series began, and I do agree with you. It felt like a winnable series, especially if you had Isaiah Stewart there. Obviously, the Game 4 situation happened as well. Better than the day, we knew what it came down to. It was the inexperience, and it was a lump that Cade needs to develop his career.
Absolutely.
And ultimately, that's what it comes down to.
The guy is in his rookie contract. You know, like Cade Cunningham is still on his rookie contract. This is the last year of his rookie contract. So he's young. He's got a lot of time to grow. Obviously, does he need to get better? Yes, that is very apparent. And I think that these are the type of experiences that bode well for a player like Cade Cunningham. You look at the history of the NBA, players go through this. This is natural progression. I've said it before. I've shown you the examples with all of the guys you want to name in NBA playoffs. They all have had their moments of struggle, and this is just a stepping stone to rising to the top. The people that had to be better in this series for them to win this winnable series was Jalen Duren, was Asar, was Cade Cunningham. It was everybody, the shooters. Like, everybody did not sell their role, and with this team just not having the offensive firepower to match the Knicks, they were just tasking their defense with way too much. I mean, they couldn't have a 30-point quarter. That was the difference, and they had one in the first quarter of this game. That costed them. There's a lot of stuff we'll get into, but yeah, overall you got to be proud of the team. Absolutely. Does it suck? Does it sting? As somebody that went to 2 of the 3 home games, yes, it fucking stings. But you know, you can't not be proud.
People are attacking me in the comments here because I said we were going to win this game, and they should have won the game. That is the hard truth. Everybody needs to hear it. Honestly, everybody. The expectations change once you are in the series and you're in the thick of it. I thought game 1, that was when, you know, we could celebrate. We're here again. You know, this is fun. This is playoff basketball. This is the way it should be around Detroit. But the fact of the matter is, this team choked multiple games in the series, and what pisses me off is they choked last night the same way that they did in Game 4. That's what pisses me off. They didn't learn from their mistakes, fellas. That is going to be big moving forward in years to come. That's what really aggravates me about it. It's okay to have expectations. We should have expectations. We should have won the series. Flat out, full stop. They choked 2 games at home away. One of them was a terrible call, but it shouldn't even have been that close. Last night, choked it away again. up 7 with 2 minutes left, and you lose the game.
That's where the inexperience comes in. That's when your expectations were incorrect. Like they have the better team. Yeah. They showed out. Jalen Brunson is top 3 point guard in the game right now.
Did they choke or did they choke?
No, we got outplayed.
No. And you know what? What I'll say we didn't choke, the reason I'll say it is because you saw this offense and how bad it is. It's going to go through stretches when you don't have Duren getting the lobs, Beasley getting the threes. Those were the number 1 and 2 connections in the NBA. The number 1 dunk connection was Jalen Duren. The number 1 3-point shooting connection was Malik Beasley. That was a huge part of your offense, and those were not there all series. Credit to Tom Thibodeau and the way he schemed this team, but the situation was this defense was on borrowed time. You were just resting on your defense. So I can't quite say they choked. It looks like it because they didn't play well at the closeout, but I think that's just a product of this offense. We saw it all through the series. This offense is so bad.
I could say they choked. You were up 7 with 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left?
Yeah, it was 2:20.
You choked that game away. The 2 reasons why you lost that game was 1, Cade wasn't good enough coming down the stretch. I love Cade Cunningham.
Facts.
You guys know that. He needs to be better. He will. This isn't all he is. He'll get better. He'll learn from it. He'll grow. But that's why he lost. He wasn't good enough down the stretch. He needed to score a couple buckets. And when JB took out Asar Thompson, those are the 2 reasons that you lost that game.
Yes, that was
And
huge.
you choked it away. You should have won that game. The series, say what you want. You should have won that game last night.
But
Preach.
See, that's part of my point. I don't want to fully disagree with what you're saying because yes, you should win a game up 2 minutes.
Sitting where you live, Chris.
No, but that's a point that you're proving my point when you talk about the Asar sub because that's a defense for offense sub that JB Bickerstaff made.
No, that was the wrong move. That was the wrong move.
Yes,
it's on the sheet.
That's what I'm saying, man. Let me finish. That was the bad move that costed us, but that also shows that this team wins on defense because without Ivy, without Malik Beasley, and Jalen Duren playing the level they were offensively in the regular season, this team was just not equipped offensively. This was not a playoff caliber offense. It just wasn't.
It was because they were there and they were in every single game. So you can't say, oh, they weren't good enough. They weren't playoff caliber. Yes, they were.
Offense
they were
wasn't.
there to win every game. The offense was there to win every game. You didn't make the plays down the stretch to win. You choked, especially in that last game.
But that's what he's saying. You weren't equipped for that half-court, 7-game series with a team that's much more talented than you. With a lot of your main core pieces, this being their first taste and experience of this type of caliber of games. We weren't equipped. The expectation, you guys had the wrong expectations going into the series from the get. You're talking Eastern Conference Finals. Let's live through a series first.
I didn't think they were going to make the conference finals easy. But when you lose 3 home games by a combined 6 points, it's not because you're not good enough or not ready there. It's because you didn't make the correct plays coming down the stretch to win games.
But one game I could blame on referees. It's because you're not good enough. Yeah. You fucked up in those games. For those situations to go down the way they did, they fucked up.
Because you didn't make the right plays.
They weren't exactly.
But
they weren't good enough. They didn't rise to the moment.
Is Cade not good enough? They weren't ready. Is he not good enough to hit the shots that he missed?
Clearly not, Spinny, because he didn't.
Okay, well, I think he's good enough to do that. I think he's a good enough player to make those shots. He didn't. That's choking in my mind.
I think he'll grow from this moment.
He's going to learn from it. He's going to get better. But that's what it has to. You were good enough. You had the opportunities. Even last night, JB Bickerstaff drew up a perfect play to get a wide open 3 to the second best 3-point shooter in the league. And what happened? He choked it and dropped the ball out of bounds. You were good enough. You were well equipped. You were beating a better team for a majority of the series. You didn't make the crunch time plays. You didn't make the plays down the stretch. That's not being good enough. That's choking late.
They weren't good enough.
Which they choked at home.
I know it hurts to hear. It's the truth of the matter.
That doesn't make them not good enough, bro.
They weren't good enough.
It doesn't make them not good enough.
Straight up.
They were the better team in the series.
They lost, Jerry. How can you say that? Yeah. They lost.
It doesn't matter.
4 games to 2. You can't say they're the better team in the series.
They proved that they can rock with them, bro. That doesn't mean they're not good enough.
They were not good enough. They lost 4 games to 2. At the end of the day, they were not good enough. They allowed Jalen Brunson to rub his nuts all over them in the fourth quarter of every single game, seemingly. They were not good enough. It's okay to say, guys.
No, you had the opportunity to win those games, and you failed.
Yeah, but
you're not good enough.
Not being good enough is getting swept.
That's if you're an athlete, that's the reality of the answer. I didn't choke. I wasn't good enough. I didn't execute
They
enough.
did choke,
I have
though.
to go
They
and
were
practice
good
more.
enough.
I have to be better because I was not good enough.
Not being good enough is getting blown out. Not being good enough is
no,
getting
no, it's
exactly
not.
what
Not
that
being good
is.
enough
Yes.
is losing. JB Bickerstaff made mistakes. You want to know why? Because he was not good enough. He wasn't good enough in that situation. They have to grow from this
makes no
situation.
sense.
No, he made
They
a
had to
stupid
rise from
decision.
this.
That's not
Because they
being-
weren't good enough. You gotta execute. You gotta practice that shit to a T.
No, you have to not take
That's
the Sar
making
Thompson out of the
excuses.
game.
Like, I choked it away. That's what happened. No, I gotta fucking bust my ass and work harder.
If you
I
have-
gotta fucking get better at catching the ball off screen.
If you have open
I gotta
shots
get
and you
better at
miss them-
shooting, making these goddamn threes.
So the Knicks are that much better than the Pistons. You watch the entire series.
It's not that much better situation. The whole thing is they weren't good enough. They did not rise to the occasion.
Okay, so the 73-9 Warriors weren't good enough to get to the finals. Like that's basically what you're saying because they
Did
lost
they get to
that
the finals?
They weren't good enough to get there.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Warriors. The
What Warriors?
73-9 Warriors.
Did they
They
go to the
went to the
finals?
finals.
They weren't
To
good
the
enough to
finals.
win the
They
championship.
lost 3-1.
They went to the finals. They were good enough to get the finals.
They
then.
lost.
Well, they weren't
3-1
good
though.
enough to win the championship.
When they got injured.
No,
When Kevin Durant got hurt.
No, when
No,
LeBron came
that's
back
that's
3-1.
Then
That's
yes,
what I'm
they
saying,
weren't
bro.
good enough.
You can choke series. You can choke these types of things
Like
and
that,
be good
like,
enough.
guys,
That
I don't
was a
understand where you're
choking.
at with this one.
I just
Like that,
don't
that's
think-
how you
I
have.
don't
That's what it
think you
is.
can put-
Straight
look
up,
at these-
you weren't good enough in that
They
opportunity.
were good enough. They were in all of these games. They choked down the stretch.
You're good enough to be in the game, but obviously you didn't win. You weren't good enough. You didn't
'Cause
rise to
you
the
choked
occasion.
down the
You gotta
stretch.
go harder. That's
Yes.
that. Exact. That's my fucking
At the
point.
end of the game, you need to make winning plays.
Get
and they
better.
didn't. That's not
Execute
being not
better.
good enough.
That
It's
is not being
choking.
good enough.
It's choking.
Easy. This team was
not being good
favored
enough.
at home going into yesterday's. Being not
By a
good enough.
point.
I don't want to hear
Nicholas,
that.
before the tip off even went, fucking New York went minus 102.
I saw -1.5 all day yesterday, but I got to say this. This team choked 2 games in the series at home.
Yes.
They had big leads in the fourth quarter late, which they ended up blowing both games. That's a choke job through and through.
not
This team was
second
hanging
reality.
with the
That is a
Knicks
choke job.
all
It's an
series
excuse.
long,
That's what it
and they
is.
blew 2 games at home when they had the lead late in the fourth.
It's an
I
absolute
think
excuse. You know what happens? This happens to Jordan. This happens to LeBron. You know what happens?
I'm
They
not
work.
saying
Listen. This happens to every single great player along the way. They have that first playoff series, that first playoff run. It gets cut short. You know what happens the following year? When they pursue through and they make it to the finals,
improve.
or yes, they got better.
Yeah.
They make the improvements because they weren't good enough the first time through,
And that's
they
what I'm
learned
saying.
from those mistakes.
This team was good enough to beat the Knicks. They choked. This wasn't some team that ran into insurmountable odds on a team that was obviously that much better than them. That's not what this series was. And if that's what
crazy.
you saw, whatever. That's not what I saw. I saw a team
agree
that
to
was
disagree.
extremely beatable, and you lost.
That part's
and that's
true.
fine. You're going to learn from that. You're going to improve your clutch time situations. But right now, you should have won that game. You were just as good as the Knicks, and you didn't. You choked.
But
You're up 7 with 2 minutes left. You lose the game. That's choking.
Yeah,
I think though there's just 2 sides of the ball though at the end of the day. Like I'm not saying that the offense wasn't bad down the stretch, but I'm also saying that like there's both sides of the coin here, and defense is this team's identity. So like this team is winning their games. The games they won in this series were the lower scoring games. Why? Because this is a defense team. The offense wasn't at the caliber it needed to be. Now that's not saying that they can't win this series. That's not saying that they didn't have some bad stretches.
But they need to
at
be
the end of
better.
Game, but they win their games off defense. Last year the Lions won their games off of offense. That's what this Pistons team was at the end of it. Once you lost Ivy,
Yeah, and you
once
held
the
Karl
shooters-
Anthony Towns to 10 points, and he followed out. That's great defense. You
Yeah.
didn't make the shots down the stretch to win the game, period.
I just can't
You
put
let
it
up.
all
You
on
let
that.
up bad rebounds. That is choking.
It's a choke.
I can't
It's
put it all on
literally
that because
that
if
game
Asar
was.
stops Brunson, who knows what happens at play. If Asar plays the great defense that he's been playing on Brunson all series, just one more play, maybe things are
Yeah,
different.
so why'd you take
Like,
him out? That's a bad decision by JB
I'm
Bickerstaff.
not
He
disagreeing
needs
with
to be
that.
better.
He can't do that.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
moment,
I was going to
he
bring
wasn't
that
good.
up.
And that's, like
a terrible.
saying, okay,
that was a
he's
terrible
not good
coaching
enough,
decision.
but he guarded him. Granted, he had 40, and that last play he slipped up.
Yeah.
You're still gonna say he's not good enough to play defense that whole series?
Yeah, there's-
It's
a choke.
not a conversation of he's not good enough to be on the
It's a
court.
choke.
He's
But
not
that's
good
what
enough to
you're
beat that
saying.
team.
That's what you're saying.
That is what I'm saying, Jerry. 100% correct.
There are
Yes, they weren't good
teams that are
enough.
more-
They got to be better. They have to execute better. You were sitting on the couch next to me earlier today. Who was I texting? National NBA champion Lindsey Hunter.
Yeah.
Asar Thompson. Had a conversation. Wasn't good enough.
There is no point.
It was too high. He wasn't low enough in the last play. He fucked up.
There is no point when I was watching this series where I thought the Pistons were not good enough to beat the Knicks. That
100%.
never crossed my mind ever watching this series.
Well,
they didn't make the shots.
There are teams that are more playoff equipped that are out of the playoffs already. Like that, we proved that we're good enough to be there because we fought the whole time.
Like, I don't understand. It's very, very simple. We see it time after time again. Just the way I explained it with the Jordan's first series. LeBron, every time they lose, they have to come back and be better. They're always up from there. You want to know why? Because they got better.
Yeah,
they improved.
There's a difference between getting better.
There's a difference.
All the above. There's no difference. It's the same exact thing. You're in your feelings. I love you guys. I love this team too. But you're in your feelings.
I just went through the plays. This is what happened.
Dude.
Nobody is in their feelings. You just have to look at it for what it truly is.
You're
You're giving this team excuses right now.
You're making excuses for your team. You're telling me they were good enough. They lost the series 4-2.
Listen, this is what happened when we were up 7 with 2:37. Shot clock violation into a Duran turnover, into a Schroeder
So,
three,
Nick, so
and
a Duran
three.
turnover.
That's
you not executing. That's him not executing.
Back to back.
That's not him being good enough.
That's choking, Easy.
Listen.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
That's
is. It's an empty
excuse.
possession.
That's such a fucking excuse.
What are you talking
How is it
about?
an excuse? They lost
An
the
absolute
game.
excuse. The fucking sloppy turnovers we saw last night were inexcusable.
Yeah.
That was not good enough. They're going to get
That's
better
what
for
we're
that.
saying.
They choked. Yes, they choked. Like,
There's
you're
a
acting like
difference
choking's a
between-
good thing, and we're cutting them
Yes.
slack.
There's a difference
it's an
between
excuse
getting
is all I'm
better
saying.
What do
and
you
not
mean they
being
lost the
good.
game because they choked? How is that an excuse?
Do they have to be better?
Yes.
Yes.
So
If they want to win an NBA championship, they have to be better. Yes.
So then they weren't good enough.
They got to be better.
They
but
weren't
there's
good
a
enough to win an
difference.
NBA championship. No, they were good enough to beat the Knicks. They choked.
There's a difference between getting better and being good enough.
I know
No, there's not.
Bro, yes,
because
there
getting
is.
better is closing a gap
The
on being
Warriors
good
got
enough.
better, but they were good enough. Like that doesn't make sense.
Jerry, that's
bro.
a completely different situation
How
where,
is
like,
it
you just
different?
lost the game.
How
And
is it
honestly,
different?
even in certain scenarios in that one, they didn't execute in scenarios. You weren't good enough
Right,
in that
then
scenario.
you're
When
not
you
gonna
don't
execute.
catch the ball on that final 3-point shot, you weren't good enough in that moment.
Yes, but
you
when-
have to be better. You have to be better either
Stuff is
executing that
gonna
play,
happen in
whatever it needs to be
basketball,
to
bro.
do.
That's
But
what you
listen,
understand.
when 3 games come down to a combined 6 points, it's not because this one team is so much better than the other one. It's because the other team choked down the stretch, didn't do the things they needed to do to win.
See, I don't even agree with that either.
How? You watch these games and you
Yes.
said
Did
the
you not
Knicks
watch
are
Jalen
obviously
Brunson
better
in these
than the
games?
Pistons. You watch these games all
Correct.
series, and you said the Knicks are obviously a better team than the Pistons.
Yes.
Based on what?
What the fuck do you mean based on what? Did you watch the game
It
last
came
night?
down. Yeah, they came down to the last shot.
What do you like? That's
It came
insane
down to the
me.
last easy. It was a game
Even
winner.
the game that we were mad about the referee officiating.
Yeah.
You came here on this show. The Knicks were just better.
Came down to the
Cade
last
needs
shot.
either another player or they need to execute better as a team.
They do, but they still could have won this series
Could've.
if they would have hit shots.
They would have been better.
They wouldn't have choked.
They would have been better.
Like,
Yes.
I don't know, man. When it comes down to the last shot of the game in 2 games at home, I'm not saying, oh, that other team is so much better than our guys. It's no, they
But
they
nobody's
executed
saying that
when it
team
gets
is so
to that
much
point-
better than those other guys. I'm just saying you weren't good enough.
Easy, you're
They're
literally
not
saying
going
that.
to define
You're literally
anything.
saying
Yeah,
that.
that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not. If I'm this team's way fucking better. You have no chance. That's what you're trying to make this seem like. I'm saying. No, I'm saying you weren't good enough. You didn't rise to the challenge. Come back, be better next year.
So you choked.
You can get
No,
better
you
next
didn't.
year,
You
bro.
weren't good
Like
enough.
all you did was choke.
Not rising to the challenge down the stretch when you have the lead 7
That's
points
not
in 2
choking.
minutes. That is the definition
Listen
of
up,
choking.
That is not choking. Choking would be if you were the favorite in this series. You were the odds-on favorite. Everyone knew you were about to win this fucking series. Like it's a wrap, and then you fumbled it away and you lost it. That's
were the
choking.
favorites
We
to win
weren't
the
the favorite
game.
in this series. There were no realistic expectations beyond fans that the Pistons were to win this series.
And you
They
watched
had
all
moments
these
in this
games,
series.
and you still
They're
felt
competitive
that.
in this series. They weren't. The odds were against them. They weren't good enough, and it was proven on the court.
They had a 93% probability of winning last night. That is choking. You lose that game, that is choking.
Whatever. It's being not good enough. You didn't execute.
Down the stretch when you had
All
the
right,
lead.
we're
that
talking
is
in
the
circles.
definition
I'm
of
just going to
choking.
agree to disagree. Like, if you think this team was good enough to fucking go out there and do all the shit, there was no need. Like, no one had to grow. No one had to be better. You thought everyone was, like, set, fucking perfect, okie dokie. You're absolutely out of your fucking
It was
mind.
a winnable series.
But I'll agree to disagree.
It was a
Easy.
winnable series.
Did your expectations change after game
No.
2 when
No, they
this
did
series
not.
went 1-1
No,
going to
every
LCS?
single
What are you
fourth
talking
quarter,
about?
Jalen Brunson went out there, broken ankle or not, and hung his fucking nuts on you. Every single time.
And
Every
we turned
single
the
one of
ball
those
over
games, the
multiple
Detroit
times in
Pistons
the
were
fourth
up
quarter.
because you weren't good enough. When you're a young player in the NBA,
shots,
a young
that's
guard
one
in the
thing.
NBA, coming to the NBA, and you know basketball, just Pistons out of it.
Yeah.
High turnovers, typically, right?
Yeah.
Do those go down throughout the career?
Yeah.
Are we a young team?
But normally players like Cade Cunningham and LeBron James, James Harden, those type of players that carry the rock so much stay at the
You're
same
absolutely
level of
correct. Who
turnovers
was
they're
number 1
at.
in the league this year?
James Harden, I think.
I think it's Cade Cunningham. And he is going to get better from that. It's still going to be up there. It's still be amongst like everybody else because, yes, he's a primary ball handler for sure. But the number is going to decrease as he gets better, as he gets more experience. Because the thing with Cade, and I love him to death, some of those turnovers are fucking bad turnovers.
I just had
inexcusable, non-forced turnovers. And it's not just Cade, too. There's situations where Sarr threw the ball out of bounds last night. Like the situation
Cade
with
was 1. Giannis was 2. Luka was 3. Steph was 4. Jaylen Brown 5. James Harden 6.
And Cade will get
Jokic
better.
6. And then Draymond.
Like, it's...
Draymond? That's crazy.
I don't know, man. Like, you want to make... I won't call
It's
it
not an excuse to say they choked. They lost the game. How is that an excuse?
It is an excuse.
How?
Because they weren't good enough in the moment, dude.
Not being good enough is them missing shots.
We 110%.
That's them
don't
missing
agree.
shots.
I will not see your guys' point on this at all.
The
I don't want to talk
turnovers.
about it no more because I'm just not convinced me. Every time I hear it, I get frustrated because it sounds like a piss poor excuse.
I don't see how it's an excuse at all. I think you're getting angry over nothing.
I don't know because this team, there's fucking steps to take. You guys are acting like they came in here as fucking finals favorites.
Nobody
wasn't
said
the
that.
scenario at
Nobody
all.
said that.
They had to overcome a
You
better
think the Knicks
fucking
are a
team.
finals favorite? That team you just watched, are they a finals favorite?
They're finals
no,
favorites
they're
over the
road
Detroit
kill.
Pistons.
They're
Yes.
a very beatable team.
What?
That's
Bro,
fine. That's
the
fine.
fact that
They're
nobody
finals
had
favorites over
any
the Detroit Pistons.
expectation for you
Factual
coming
statement.
in here, the fact that nobody had any expectation of you doing what you did when you came in here proves that you are good enough. The fact
You
that
weren't
you
good
changed
enough.
everybody's narrative of your team shows you that you are good enough.
Yeah,
You didn't change that, but it's a tough series.
When two of these
It's
games,
what we said going into this.
when 2 of these games are decided by the final shot, I'm not saying the team isn't good enough. I'm saying you choked, especially when you had a lead in the fourth quarter in both of those games.
And that's fine. I think that's an excuse.
I think
it's okay to look in the mirror and just say flat out this team choked. It's taking nothing away from
Yeah,
what they
no.
have accomplished this
Amazing
season.
season.
No one's saying it's taking away anything away from the season.
I'm saying, because I know how it's going to get, viewed, but I am telling you, this team, they came so far, everything. Expectations change when you're in the series. You're watching it. That team is not flat out so much better than the Detroit Pistons. Just flat out. They're not.
So can I ask you this then? Particularly these two people. And I'll throw Cade in there too, actually. We'll make it 3.
They have better players.
Asar Thompson.
We have a better team.
You don't think Asar
That's
Thompson
what
will
I
ever
think.
get better than he is right now in his career?
Nobody's saying
Nobody's
this,
saying-
dude. What?
No. Listen, do you think Asar Thompson won't get any better than he is right now in his career?
No. I think Asar Thompson's going to get better.
Okay, so there's levels to there's steps for him to make to get
Yes.
better as
The
a player.
team
I don't think
can
they're
get
arguing
better,
that.
but right now they were good enough to beat the Knicks. They just choked.
I disagree.
See,
Nobody's saying
we-
this
we can go
team.
to break.
Nobody's saying this team is a finished product or they're not going to get any better. We're just saying right now that was a beatable team. That was a winnable series,
series,
and you
yeah.
choked down the stretch of games, and that's what happened.
See, I just have a slightly different view. Like, I'm not with Eazy on that part. What I'll say is that, again, I believe that defense is the identity of this team. And so I guess I just had expectations that this team is going to have these lows offensively because you've seen it in every game. They have bad stretches where they just are not scoring. And I don't think it's necessarily choking. I think it's because the talent on this offense is not good enough. It just isn't.
on
So
your
like to
side.
me,
Yeah,
I have
dude,
a little
look at
bit
this
different.
guy, man.
I have a little bit different of
say
a
what?
view. If you guys want to call it choking, again, I can't dispute that. 93% win probability, you should win that game. I just don't put it really on the offense. I put it more on the defense because that is this team's identity. That is where this team's strong point lies. That is what I thought gave them a chance to win this series and did give them a chance to win this series was the defense, not really the offense. So I guess I just had different expectations, lower
what it was.
expectations
And
of the
to
offense.
begin the series, that's what we had on the show too.
We all said they should have won that game last
You
night.
two
Everybody in
expected the
this
Detroit
room took the
Pistons to win the
to win.
series.
You
Chris
took the
and I
Pistons to
didn't
win last
expect the
night.
Pistons. Yeah, I picked them win because my fucking favorite team.
Okay, so now it doesn't matter.
And what do you mean I took them win last night? We didn't have a fucking show to talk about that. That's out of your ass.
We said Did we not say? Did I not say? Oh, I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx them because I picked them to lose the game before that. On Wednesday, when we said who's going to win that game,
to the
everybody
very
said
beginning
the
of the
Pistons are
series,
going to
and
win.
this is where we're sitting right now, and that's why we disagree on these sayings, right? You guys had the expectations Detroit Pistons were going to win this series. You and Nick specifically. That's why you're using the term choke because you thought it was in the bag. Like this is them all day. They got it.
Should have been.
So to you guys, they choked. Me and Chris took the Knicks, and that's why we're saying they weren't. Good
So
enough.
you thought the Pistons were going to win last night. On Wednesday, you said that the Pistons are going to win last
I'm
night.
gonna fucking say because I want them to go to 7.
Was that a choke then?
No,
because you had the expectations for them to win.
But it's not always.
So then your argument's
I didn't have the expectation for
Let
them
me
to win.
just
But
say,
you
every
picked them
loss
to win
isn't
on
a
the favorite
choke,
team.
though. Every loss isn't a choke, though. I got it.
So you can't
I
be
gotta say that.
subjective with your takes.
Smitty, they did not choke.
Yes,
they were not
they
the
did.
favorite.
Yes,
a choke
they did.
is fumbling in the fucking moment.
They did fumble.
They
Game
weren't
3, they
good
did
enough.
not choke. Hear me out. Game 3, they didn't choke. Game 4, they did. And Game 6, they did. At home, both games, late in the fourth quarter, they were up.
You were not
They
the
turned
favorite in the
the
series.
ball
You
over.
cannot choke. Plain and fucking simple.
God.
If you are the favorite to win, then you choked.
That
Because you
is
were supposed to
ridiculous.
win the series. You had it in the bag. And
That's
again,
crazy.
I'm done arguing it. It comes down to what your expectations
It's the
were.
way the
I
series
told you guys
played
before
out.
the series began, your expectations were a little too high.
It's the way
We're
the
a little
series
too high.
played out, Easy. You picked the Pistons to win the last game. Last game,
You keep. All right, find that tape. Don't say that until we find that tape.
you picked the Pistons to
I
win
picked
the
the
last
fucking
game.
Knicks to win the damn series.
Okay, but the last game is what I'm talking about right now.
But we don't- we
just
had the
let me-
conversation.
Let
All
me
right,
say
all
this. Right now, the last game I'm talking about, we all picked the Pistons to win that game at
No,
home.
you keep saying that. No.
The Pistons had a
do you
lead.
fucking show?
The Pistons had a 7-point lead with 2 minutes left. They had a 93% probability to win that game. They lost. What do you call that?
They lost the game.
You call it a choke, dude.
At
You
any
call
given,
it a fucking
at
choke.
any given moment, we played the win probability shit. We talked.
You
Detroit
just-
line.
you just
can play that at any given moment of a fucking game. Oh, no, they like no.
You just
The
explained
reality
that if
is
you are
they
favorite-
weren't supposed to win this series. There wasn't a real expectation other than fans they were going to win this series, and they didn't. That's not a choke.
You just said that if you're favored to win, that you
If you
it's
can
a
pick a
choke.
fucking single point
He's
in the
favored to
game,
win the
but that's
game.
the reality of the
They're
situation was they
favorites to win
weren't.
the game, and they
On
lost
the books
game.
last
That
night
is
at
a
home.
choke.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
what you said.
Ultimately, in the series, it was plus 450 for the Detroit Pistons to win. That's not choking, guys. But again, we obviously disagree. I don't want to argue it because every time I hear it, and I love all you guys, I think it's a fucking excuse.
I don't understand.
I think
how
you're
that
the
could be
one
an
making
excuse.
excuses. You're
How
not.
am I making an excuse?
You're
that
not
that was my
holding them
expectation
accountable,
going into
Easy.
this. I am the only one holding them accountable
No.
because I'm saying they weren't good enough.
So you're
I am quite literally the only person holding them accountable.
So you think they
For Christ's
should?
sakes.
You think they shouldn't have won that game?
That's crazy.
Going into that game, you think they shouldn't have won? They weren't going to win.
I don't think the expectations were. In the No.
I think they should have won that game. The writing was on the wall. They should have won that game, and they choked it away.
And again, we agree to disagree.
I don't
See,
know
if-
how you can watch that game and not agree with that.
I don't know how you. Can
If
watch
they're
that game.
missing shots, it's one thing.
Yeah.
But to turn the ball over repeatedly is choking.
Nick, that's my literal fucking point, brother.
But when you
So
haven't
choke.
made those turnovers
No,
for
it's not
majority of the
choking.
game,
Turning the ball over is you're not good. You're going as we all agree.
Turning the ball
young
over, it's
players
not taking a
come into
shot,
the league,
empty possession,
They turn the
choke.
ball over a shit ton of times. We all agree on that. Young players turn the ball over. They're not ready. Like they're not fucking
Cade's in year
comfortable in the
4.
game. That's fine. He's still young. This is his first time in playoff.
You said you
basketball.
don't get better after year 4 if you're an NBA player. You are what you are at year 4. That's your belief.
Cade Cunningham didn't really have a year 2.
Okay. So who's making excuses now?
It's not an excuse. Did he have a year 2?
Is he in year 4?
Did he have a year 2?
No, he was injured.
Okay.
But he's in year 4.
No, he's not. He didn't have a year 2.
This isn't his 4th year
So this
in the
would be
NBA?
his 3rd year.
This-
Actual playing on the
Okay.
fucking court. You just said he didn't have a year 2.
Excuses. That's an excuse.
I don't think it's an excuse. I literally quite. Did he have a year 2? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Is this year
Then it's
4
not
for
an
him in
excuse.
the NBA?
No.
Okay.
He didn't have a year 2. He played fucking.
This
5
is not
games.
his 4th year in the NBA?
Spinny. He didn't fucking. I'm not arguing that.
I don't
You
think
can't-
that's
I'm
how
not
years
arguing
work.
that.
But literally, yeah.
What?
This is not his fucking 4th year of experience because he had 4 fucking years of experience.
Is this his 4th year in the NBA or not?
Does
Yes
he
or
have
no?
4 years of NBA experience?
Okay, you're answering
Does
my
he have
question with a
4 years
question.
of NBA on the court
You
NBA
can
experience?
get
No, but
experience
this is his
Okay.
4th year in the
without being
league.
on the
So when a guy misses Ben Simmons, Blake Griffin, they got hurt their rookie years.
Yeah.
Their second year, sophomore,
Their
technical
what? Their
sophomore
what
season,
year? Their what year?
was that their rookie season? Those guys won Rookie of the Years, correct?
Was their second year, their sophomore season, their
So
rookie
technical,
season?
but you're trying to argue on technicality. But those guys won Rookie of the Year, correct?
Yeah, they did, and it's bullshit. Nobody agreed with it.
Because they didn't have a fucking first year of experience.
I don't know, man.
That is the reasoning.
I don't know. I think you're the one making excuses now.
You are the ones making excuses.
No
I'm
way.
telling you they need to be better.
That makes
We're
no
saying,
sense.
we're saying they should have won the game and they didn't because they choked. You're saying it doesn't matter because they weren't supposed to anyways.
No,
that's whack,
Vinny,
dude.
You're literally changing my fucking words. I'm telling you they weren't good enough to win the game. They didn't execute.
Yeah, but you're
they
saying,
have to go back to the lab. They have to grind and to get
win.
better, as they should, because they're all 22 to 23 years old.
Yeah, but you said because your expectations before the season started were for the Knicks to win, so it doesn't matter that they choked down the stretch. They just weren't good enough.
Is when you had the fucking thing in the bag and then you fumbled it.
98% win. What?
Spencer, that's in the fucking any point of a
in the
fucking
fourth
game.
quarter with 2 minutes left.
Spencer,
that's not any point
Spencer,
in the
if I
game.
were to go in the fucking first quarter when they were down by 20 plus, guess what? The New York Knicks had a 90 fucking
But there's a
probability
difference
to win.
when it's 2 minutes
No,
left
it's
in the
not.
fourth
The
quarter.
game has to play out.
Yes, there is. There's a difference.
That's crazy, dude. There's no difference between 1 minute in the first half and 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter? There's no difference in that to you?
They have to be better. If you agree they need to be better, if you agree they're going to get better.
Both things can
then
be
you
true.
It's
cannot
okay
give them
for people to
excuse
get
of
better,
choking.
but you can be good enough, bro. Curry
Yeah.
is still getting better. Like, what do you want to talk about?
he's not.
How is he not? You
He
can,
is
bro.
what he is.
Basketball is a craft, bro. You can get better.
You're going
at
to get better.
shit
You're
every
going to get
single
better.
day.
You are good enough right now to beat the Knicks.
100%.
Yeah.
Every single game I watched, I was never like, that Knicks team is obviously better.
So you would think they'll
You
average
choked
up
up-
the turnovers. You think they're everyone's to the max value? That's
Who said that? I just said they're going to get better.
Let's go to break.
Nobody is saying that.
Nobody's
This team's
Go
cooked
to
in this
break for
franchise
the
is
love of
cooked.
fucking God, please.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's not crazy. We
Tell
just
us
don't
about Mark
agree.
White.
And I've said that for 5 times.
Mark White.
I feel like you just think we're saying something we're not.
No, I think
Nobody's
you're
saying
making
this
excuses.
team's not going to get better. They're good enough right now to beat the Knicks. They're still
right.
going to get better. They're a 6 seed. They're obviously going to be able to get better.
Well, it didn't happen. I guarantee you talk to any one of those players and say we weren't good enough.
They're going to say we choked down the stretch.
They're going to say we weren't good enough. We got to be better. That's exactly what they're going to
I
say.
would love to hear
And
some
that's the
post-game
exact
comments.
accountability you need to have as an athlete. Let's pull some post-game quotes. How about that? First, let me tell you guys about Mark White, because if you won money on that series, you can purchase yourself a new home. And why not save yourself $5,000 on doing so when you call my guy Mark White, 248-290-8242, or visit markwhitesales.com. That's 248-290-8242, or visit markwhitesales.com.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo.
Ah.
You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where everybody can get a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month. Upgrade to the Black Card and get used to menus like hydro massage. Same thing. everywhere you go. That's the best part about Planet Fitness. Every single gym you walk into, 2,500 worldwide, same thing, same equipment, same great service. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
What up, the world, mate? World Weights live at WoodWardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by some more Raxter, Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, Shampoo, a.k.a. Seinfeld in the building. Speaking of Seinfeld, we'll probably get to that later on in the show. We had a night out after the Pistons game.
Oh, yeah, I want to hear that.
What?
We were just chilling at the bar in LCA. They don't close after the game.
Thanks
I mean, they
for the
do,
invite.
but like they'll
The
stay open for, like,
pizza
a little
one?
bit. I think was it the music board, soundboard,
Oh, soundboard?
Oh yeah, soundboard.
Mixing
I
board,
think
mixing
is-
board, I
Mixing
think.
board. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
In LCA?
Mm-hmm. So open for a
Bro, it
minute.
was lit. Like
It
we
was-
went,
yeah.
so we left. Like they're down 20, so we're like, all right, let's just walk to the bar and go chill at the bar. And when they kept coming, they were coming back. So like, and then they tied the game. So like, all right, we're not leaving the bar. Like obviously
Yeah.
it was a sign. And then like halftime rolled around, and it was like probably like 200-300 people in there just like chilling. We're like, yeah, we're not getting up. And then everyone just stayed down there to watch the rest of the game. It was
They were
lit.
showing the same chicks on the big screen.
Yeah, they
That was
were. They
getting a
didn't
lot
show
of
Penny
airtime.
Sewell.
Penny
Sewell was there? They didn't
Sewell
show
was
him?
there. They showed
Really?
him for like 2 seconds, and then panned up to some girl with a
Probably scared.
Fucking leather jacket.
soccer mom haircut. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Terrible.
Put Penny Sewell on the screen. Place where
Yeah,
went
place
nuts.
yeah. Fucking give that guy a beer to crush.
Yeah. And also, shout out to the fans for showing out. I know when I went, it was absolutely electric. It was great environments. But wear the fucking shirts. Wear the shirts.
Yeah.
Put on the shirts.
Chris.
It looks
I did.
so
Oh, you
much
did.
better.
You did put it on.
Yeah.
Actually.
It looks so much better
Fucking
when everybody's wearing
gaslighting.
the white. I saw it on the thing on the internet and on Twitter was your fit's not that hard. I promise. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Just wear the shirt. It you know how much cooler it would have been if it was a whiteout in there. Like
Yeah.
next year, wear the shirts.
Jerry.
Jerry.
We didn't even have
Too
a
cool?
shirt, bro.
We had
I
we got
got-
robbed by this girl in a
Bro,
wheelchair.
yeah, bro.
She
I
took
got
all the
robbed.
shirts.
Well, no,
I would've pushed her
someone
down the
took her
stairs.
shirt,
So I felt bad, so I gave her my shirt.
Oh.
And then she
but then
didn't
we
give it
got
back.
to her seat. It was her neighbors who took the shirt, so they gave them to her, and then she didn't give her shit back to Jerry.
Oh,
I was like, bitch, I'll throw you down the stairs
yeah,
right now.
for real. What the fuck?
That's all he wanted to go to the seat for. We had nosebleeds.
Yeah.
It is what
Well,
it is.
for a little bit you didn't. For a little
Yeah,
bit
for a
you
little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Hey,
Bro,
that
bro,
was funny.
Well,
as
you
fuck,
came
too.
down and
Bro,
next to Chris.
Yeezy pressed somebody for the seat.
We stole this guy's seats.
I gotta hop in real quick. This man right here is so loud. He's literally so loud. I was just getting a haircut, and I can hear him clean as day.
Yeah.
I'm across Lady Chains.
Oh, yeah.
And this dude is screaming.
We were all
It's
screaming.
that dad voice, though.
No, it was funny as hell. Me and Ben were laughing a lot.
Yeah.
All right, I have to tap in.
It was a joke.
I love you.
Choke job.
Shout
for
out
sure.
Justin. Woodward Wings.
Weren't good enough.
Check it out.
Tomorrow,
Check it
10
out.
a.m.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Me
Yeah,
and Justin.
we went down with Chris initially. He had like lower bowl seating, and
Money bags.
Chris was like,
Money bags,
guys, let's talk about the
Platty
game.
pies.
Let's talk about the game here.
Chris was like, hey, the 4 seats next to me were empty. Like, just come
Yeah.
down. And so Jerry and I went down there, and then these kids come. And like, hey, you're in our seats. And I was like, show me your tickets. Because he said they're open, though. So I thought they were doing what we were
They
doing.
they were. To be fair, they were when I bought them.
I've
When I
done
bought
that,
them, the
bro.
next
So I was
5 were
pressing this
open.
kid. He's like, come on, man. I was like, no. And they wouldn't. Well, no, he was like probably 22 or something
Oh,
like that.
okay. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. And he's like, the phone went low. And I'm like, I don't, show me the fucking ticket.
Yeah, he clouded his phone with
I've
that.
done that before. I did that at the Kendrick concert.
He thought-
Walked down to some open seats that I saw on StubHub. I said
Yeah.
there were people sitting in them. I said, hey, you're in my seat. And
Yeah.
they got up and walked
Well, the
away.
issue was these were actually their seats.
Yeah.
And then like some guys came into the seats that we were sitting in again.
Yeah, 'cause
and
we
they're all
moved
right, yeah,
over.
we gotta go.
Oh, that guy's probably so pissed.
I thought it was the funniest thing ever, bro. I'm like, bro, you're literally. I'm walking. I was like, did you just try to like?
I was a little bit buzzed up. I was
You're
pressing
trying
kind
to stop
of
somebody
Jerry,
from
how
stealing
scary
our
about it.
stolen shit.
How'd you do at the bar? Were you chilling?
He's being a good guy.
Yeah,
He's
I was
a good. He's
Being respectable.
Yes.
Respectable.
I was chilling.
drinking his
Oh,
Pepsi.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Anyways.
no, I had some Pepsi, a little bit of water.
Real
Nice.
quick super chat from Byrne. Justin looks like he's getting ready to pitch out the bullpen for the Tigers.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? The new guy they called up? Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Oh, that's
Don't choke.
Chase Lee.
No.
Chase Lee.
Chase Lee?
Chase Lee.
My
Pitcher?
Someone, yeah, he
Chase
looks
Lee.
like Justin.
The
Maeda,
the sidearm guy.
you're out of here.
Bro,
Let's fucking go.
That tweet blew up
Yeah.
on social
Fuck
media.
yeah, it
The
did.
crowd is fired up about Maeda getting DFA.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I would have loved it to be for Andrew Chafin, but
Yeah, just lost him to the Nationals.
I don't know why you didn't just DFA Maeda the day before and then make Jay. But
yeah,
whatever.
They put Brisky out.
That's a choke.
I'm not. I think they're doing. I think they're doing it for Vierling, anyways. I think Vierling's starting his rehab assignment. They're just gonna move that kid back to the minors, and then put Vierling on the roster.
I think it's Brisky because they put him in high A because they can put him out.
Yeah, we need
because he's on
back.
the West Coast, easier access to get to Anaheim. I think Bo's gonna come back. Tyler Owens.
Yeah. Looks like Justin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chase.
And he pitched well. He pitched well. He had a couple ground balls. It was good to see. Surprise. Random bullpen pitcher comes in. He
balling out.
Three up, three down.
Getting called.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I forgot he was even fucking there.
Yeah. Ankle injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Love Bo Brisky. Bo Brisky was lights out last year. Dude, your boy Dylan Dingler.
Ding dong.
3 hits and a bomb. Dude's a fucking stallion.
They called me a madman.
That is true.
Yeah.
It was due to injury, but still, he took it and ran. He took it and ran. Pause. Great stick last night. Pause. And the guy just throws absolute darts from behind the plate, man. He's looking like everything we wanted James McCann to be. Like everything, like that Captain America catcher, like catcher of the future, big, tall, strong, has the arm, can hit. Dylan Dingler looks like he might be the real deal, and I'm fucking here for it.
Some would say sneaky athletic.
They would
Dylan
say,
Dingler.
yeah, definitely a guy you take home to mom.
Yeah, leader of the team.
We are already at a break. Let's pay some bills, come back, get into this Pistons game a little bit more. But Feist, tell us about Lady Jane's.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit down, relax. Get an amazing haircut from one of our talented stylists like McKaylee. You can get a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards of Masbury. Offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit him at michigansportsandspine.com or give him a call at 248-426-9944.
What up, welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on Sports.com. Means by Small Rax, young Chris Nicholas Kohloff. We got young Shampoo in the building too. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. One guy I have been accused of making excuses for is Cade Cunningham. And I guess the question I want to ask, and I don't know how it went on the rest of the shows today, but where was that narrative? Was Stick around?
Stick was around.
There to,
he really wasn't bad today.
Poke and prod?
He wasn't bad. I mean, he was obviously
read the room type situation.
He was obviously trolling and rage baiting in the chat, talking about how his rebounds weren't that impressive. They weren't boxing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on his shit today. I mean, I think we all know what we think about Cade Cunningham and what Cade Cunningham is, and he had a great series, but he needs to be better down the stretch. That's what it is. If Cade Cunningham makes 2 shots down the stretch in 2 of these games, you win the series, flat out. But he didn't. So the numbers he put up were better than anybody ever. Like, he is tied for the fastest in NBA history in playoff games to 100 points. I believe it was 50 rebounds and 50 assists. He was he was up there with Luka Doncic and Oscar Robinson as the only guy to do the things he's done through his first playoff stretch. Just got to hit some shots down the stretch. Can't choke? No, can't miss those shots.
No, he
but
wasn't
honestly,
good enough.
that was a wide open layup. That was a wide open layup that he missed. He makes that shot. He's good enough to make a wide open layup. He missed it. He's good enough to hit those turnaround twos. He missed them. It's fine. He's going to grow. He'll be back. He'll learn from it. He'll make those shots next time.
Nick?
Yeah, I mean, you think back to obviously last night, but I also think back to Game 4 when he got the look from the free throw line right at the elbow. That's his shot through and through. He missed that shot.
Hits that shot 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Free throw. Hits it 9 times out of 10. He's going to learn to develop this skill, but you saw the inexperience come in at times for Cade Cunningham in the series. And it's still a choke job from the young gun.
When you blow a wide open layup in transition, a wide open layup right at the rim, that's choking.
And
you can't tell me he's not good enough to hit a wide open fast break layup.
Yeah, he's an absolute star, and your stars need to play like stars down the stretch. And Cade Cunningham had a couple bad shots, or great shots, but just couldn't convert them. And it was late in this game where he makes that shot all the time. And I just want to think about these expectations, like Pistons fans, like it was such a great season, but it was really there for the taking.
Yep.
It really, truly was. And I think maybe Pistons fans, their expectations are so low because of how bad we've been. Between 2019 and 2022, we won 26% of games. And I truly feel like it has shaped this franchise into being, scared of expectations. And I truly believe that last night it was like you kind of saw that in a sense. People were coping a little bit like, oh, we're just happy to be here. We should have won that goddamn series. And Cade definitely needs to play better down the stretch.
And it's okay. And
Yeah.
that's not who he is.
Exactly.
And you're going to get better from being a 6th seed. This team is not going to be a perennial 6th seed. But in this instance, in this series, you were good enough to win. You didn't make the shots down the stretch. And that is on Cade. And you guys know I love Cade, and I love everything he does. And I think he's a superstar. I think he's the second best player in the Detroit Pistons, or he's the best player on the Detroit Pistons since Isaiah Thomas. So you got to be better than that. Yeah. And you have to hit those shots. And that's what big-time players do, is big-time players step up and hit big-time shots. Obviously, he's got a lot of he's not 50 games into his playoff career like Jalen Brunson, but
yeah, when it comes down to the stretch, like Nick said, you can see the youngness in him. What I noticed was a couple like lazy passes. Like, we know he shouldn't be inbounding the ball anyway, but that pass you make from the baseline out going towards half court to Duren, granted, Cat grabbed Duren, but it was a lazy pass if you look at it. It was lobbed up in the air. That pass, you can make that pass a lot better than what he did. So it's the little things with them, I think. Like, they're good enough. But I think a lot of it was just the little things that came down to our youth.
You look at the 2 games that the Pistons won in this series, Cade Cunningham took over in the 4th quarter. Game 2, he was excellent in the 4th quarter. Game 5, he had 13 points and 4 assists in the 4th quarter. That's what you need to win. And unfortunately, it didn't come through. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, look, and
nobody's saying the game, blow it up. Pistons are done. It's you learn, you move on.
It's a stepping stone. I mean, overall, I feel like this is, if we're doing grades for it, I would give it a B- because it's 18% from 3. Now he did only attempt slightly less than one per game, but he shot. He didn't finish well. He didn't finish well because on 2-point field goals he shot pretty decently, but his finishing at the rim was bad in this series. The turnovers, obviously 5.3 is not great, but if he can, it's borderline acceptable for a player of his usage, especially in this situation where he was the only offense for this team for many durations of the games. So yeah, I think there's nothing but encouragement for Cade Cunningham. I mean, Trae Young in his first playoffs, again, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, but he also shot 42% exactly from the field like Cade Cunningham. So his stats were on par with some of the people that I brought up before when we talked about playoff expectations. So I think there's nothing but encouraging thoughts.
And Cade led the playoffs in turnovers. He was third in the NBA in the regular season in turnovers behind Trae Young and James Harden.
Okay. That makes sense.
That, and then the two people you just named,
LeBron was
people,
fourth.
Yeah, are people who are gonna have the ball 40 minutes out of the game.
You could still cut it down a little bit.
You can cut it to 3.5.
I'll say 3 is a good turnover.
Yeah. Yes.
Having 3 turnovers a game.
4 would be
3
fine.
or 4 is perfect. That. And you could have cut that down.
And especially, but in the playoffs, it was so obvious that it got tightened up because they didn't have a secondary ball handler. Yeah. And we talked about Malik Beasley being that guy. When Malik Beasley is the second best offensive player you have, that puts so much pressure on Cade Cunningham, and they were still in every single game. That's why I think people need to respect Cade more than they are, because of how much he had to work in all of those games, everything that they asked him of, the usage that he was doing, that he was giving. He's dead in those 40. He's playing 40 minutes, controlling the offense and playing an important role on defense for 40 minutes. He's going to be very tired. Yeah. The 2 games where he said, fuck that, I'm going to do it, they won. It sucks, but could have used Jaden Ivey.
I don't know if this was brought up.
Same situation, too, where, you watch the defense play it on Cade, and you can't do that. And you could have, the very last shot, I would have liked for them to double Brunson. Yeah. I'd rather force that shot as somebody that wasn't the fucking clutch player of the year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's a coaching situation, too. And we'll talk about JB at a certain point. But, for me, Brunson's going to get those open shots because, other guys are respectable enough to have to fucking stay on them. Yep. Cade is the one main guy that you were going to focus on, and that's why he wasn't able to go off like Brunson. The fact, like you said, he did what he did despite that.
And they were still there in every single game.
Very commendable. Yeah. And he did have open shots that he missed last night, and I was definitely disappointed in him, but all in all in the series, it's a stepping stone. I'm not going to beef over it. And I'm proud of what he did.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You have to be, because, again, if you have more talent, I'm going to tip my hat to Jalen Brunson. He was the best player in this series. We all came into this series thinking that it was going to be Cade Cunningham.
He had one game that he
one
was
bad game.
17 points.
But other than that, he was the guy. He was closing late. He was doing all the things that the best player in this series needs to do.
That
but
layup he had against Dennis Schroeder, who, by the way,
under the hoop, that was dirty.
It was nasty.
He almost fell, caught himself. Yeah, that was
pump faked, went around. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Me and my dad were watching it. We were both just like, that was fucking nasty.
But
the thing
you
too
can't
is,
even be mad.
Some guys have spots. You can't let him get to that spot. He from anywhere. I hate it.
Yeah,
I fucking hate it.
He's really good, man.
He's not like a Curry, but that criteria of guy, he can kind of make a shot from almost anywhere
especially
around the floor.
In the playoffs, dude.
Just not as deep as Curry can.
The baseline jumpers were insane.
Yeah. But again, I think
and the fact that how tall he is.
Knew it was going.
Yeah, the fact that how tall he is and he was getting his fadeaways over the way he was that's a difficult shot.
And it's like another guy. I mean, sometimes I'd be shorter.
The runners with Jalen Duren guarding him when he hits runners over Jalen Duren's extended arm consistently, just off the top of the glass. That's extremely high skill level shots from an extremely highly skilled player. Probably the guy that's going to keep Cade Cunningham out of being first team All NBA.
Yeah, and again, though, I do think that it's simply part of him being the better player in this series was the supporting cast helping, because they were able to just do everything they wanted to at Cade. They were able to blitz, they were able to hedge, double.
You switch Brunson and Cade and the Knicks sweep.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, but. So I do like to always point that out when saying that he was the best player in this series, that there was help with that, but that's not a knock to him. He absolutely stepped up. He was incredible. But for Cade, I think you can be really encouraged, because you can look at, despite everything that was thrown at him, the Knicks, their whole game plan was anybody but Cade, and he still averaged 25.
Yeah.
He's still his
25,
feel for the
9,
game.
And 8.
Yeah, his feel for the game is so impressive. The way he picks his spots, the way he just is as a leader. When he knows, okay, I gotta try to get this guy going, or I gotta try to do this or do that. His brain is like a fucking basketball computer, dude. It's nuts. It's nuts, man. Credit to Cade. I think Cade is going to be a playoff problem in the future.
Especially next year, you give him a summer with Melo, he's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, you want to talk about playoff winning a game down the stretch. Give Cade some moves off the block. fuck out of here.
Because
I want to see Cade with the jab steps. Ooh.
Yeah, like a little.
Because the passes he's making across the court were fucking nuts. We were talking about last night.
Nasty.
He made a pass where he was
throwing one like that,
Yeah.
right in the pocket.
Yeah.
and he's running away from the left wing on the right wing, and he made that cross pass to Beasley. I'm like, dude, come on, like that's
Shout out,
a
take your pants
veteran
off.
pass, dude.
All right, let's pay some bills. Come back. I hate doing this because I very much appreciate what he did. But let's talk about JB Bickerstaff's performance in this series.
Talk about it.
But Feist.
Socials, let me tell you about the socials. The best place to tap in with the best Detroit sports content is Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch. Everywhere you get your Detroit sports content, you are getting the best content when you go to Woodward Sports from all the personalities you know and love. The heavyweights, Wake Up Woodward, BDE, E&E. A lot of the best Detroit sports content is right here at Woodward Sports, so make sure you're giving us a follow on all social media platforms.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Make sure you tap in. Use promo code Woodward1000. Your first bet up to $1,000 will be risk-free. Meaning if it doesn't hit, you'll get it back in bonus bets. So anywhere from $20 to $1,000, your first bet is risk-free. Scan that QR code. Use promo code Woodward1000. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Nicholas Duncan.
I heard Dearborn too, Sato Berry.
Love Dearborn.
Shout out Dearborn. Great food in Dearborn.
Great shawarmas.
I worked in Dearborn for about a year and a half. Great food out there.
Beautiful, respectful women.
Beautiful women.
No. Actually, I think I might have had that, actually. Nicholas Duncan. Caden Goff's name, choke.
Not the same. They both choked, but not the same. Goff's was what the Lions did was an unbelievable choke.
Like, to me, that's a choke.
But also, they were down their whole team. But still, you should have won. You were much better than the other team. Pistons, Knicks, that was a winnable. It's not like, God damn it, they'll never, Like, no, they should have won. They could have won. And they didn't.
That's the quickest way to get the city to hate you. Who choked harder?
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham or Jared Goff?
Stick literally admitted today he hates Cade Cunningham because people love him more than Jared Goff.
That's
As
crazy.
they should.
It is crazy.
I think there's more respect. Like, I think Cade,
first of all,
he's better.
He's going to be better. Right
And
now,
football's different. You're so much more dependent on the guys around you.
Yeah, and Jared Goff's been performing at a top 3 level the past 2 years, statistically. Cade's ceiling is far higher, and he's homegrown. We drafted him. He's our first #1 overall pick. He's a superstar. He broke a 17-year drought. But, I mean, I don't know. It's just because Stick loves Goff so hard, he can't get behind another Detroit athlete. I don't know. It's crazy. It's brainwashed, honestly. You can love them both, brother. You can love them both.
Yeah.
The craziest thing to me about some of the golf guys, I won't say all you guys. Some of you guys are just pro Detroit, whoever. Some of you guys at Sekou Naboya, future MVP of the league. Like, those guys exist.
Henry Ellenson.
Yeah, Henry Ellenson, gonna
Best
take
summer
over
league
the
of all
league.
time.
But other guys, I don't even know where I was going with that one, to be honest with you. I don't even fucking remember where I was going with that one.
Yeah,
right. Some of those golf guys were talking slanderous on that man's name.
Yeah.
And a lot of them pretend running around like they never said one bad thing. They were go golf all the way. New Rule and Stick being one of the main ones. But Stick, pretend, I don't know, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
You guys weren't even golf guys.
I'm not even going to acknowledge it anymore because he's literally just trolling and rage baiting. So
That's true. God damn it, how we up talking Jared Goff after Detroit Pistons playoff series?
But you wanted to talk about something
Turnovers.
else.
It all related.
Turnovers in a playoff game.
You blame that on Goff.
He literally said 7 turnovers is more than 4. I was reading. I was laughing at a couple of them.
Not quite the same in football.
Yeah, exactly. A lot more possessions in basketball, some may say. But speaking of possessions in basketball, do you think JB made the most of them last night? Because I love JB. I really I am grateful for JB. I didn't believe in NBA coaching before JB Bickerstaff. That's crazy. I'm fucking 30 years old. I didn't believe in fucking NBA coaching until JB Bickerstaff. And he fucked up last night, in my opinion.
Fucked up hard.
How do you allow or witness what Beasley did in that second quarter, and then you don't start the third quarter with them? Especially when the whole rest of the team, nobody else is hitting those 3-point shots.
You come out and you hit that fadeaway 3 to go into halftime, and then you're fired up. Who's not fired up after hitting that 3? And then you sit on the bench.
Yeah, Beasley has to be in the game. So that one I can somewhat understand because Tim Hardaway Jr. is plus 11 in this series. That is the best on the Pistons roster. So they liked him in his spot, and he's not a good defender, but he's a better defender than Malik Beasley. Taking out Asar Thompson when he did was the most egregious thing I've ever seen JB Bickerstaff do as a coach.
That was bad.
You cannot do that. I was crashing the fuck out. I scared my dog. She ran into the other room. I was screaming. Because I was like, what the fuck is happening? He's got to have 4 or 5 fouls. I look at it. He's got 3 fouls. You cannot. That lost us the game.
100%.
You want to look at a singular reason why the Pistons lost last night and we're in Cancun right now? It's because J.B. Bickerstaff took Asar Thompson out of the game. That is an egregious coaching malfeasance. You cannot do that.
I love Timmy. He had a big shot in that fourth quarter, but for him to have 11 minutes and Asar have 6,
unacceptable.
Yeah,
inexcusable.
No, that was my number one gripe. I literally turned to the guy next to me, and I was like, we were talking ball the whole time. Yeah, it's lame. But I was talking to him, and I was like, as soon as they subbed out Asar, I was like, I don't like that at all. You keep Asar in. You win
Asar
this
Thompson
game off
played
of
the
defense.
entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only time Asar Thompson should be off the floor is when Jalen Brunson is off the floor.
Yeah, I mean,
the only time.
You're talking a guy that when he came into the game, they were down, and then they're down 11, and then they go up 7 when he comes back into the game.
And then you take him out.
Then you take him out,
and they're tied up.
And granted, he kept that last shot was on him, but he kept Brunson 1 for 9 from field goal percentage in that fourth quarter, and then you take him out, and obviously.
And maybe it was the asthma thing. I know he was struggling with his asthma earlier in the game, and he was hitting the inhaler.
No, it wasn't. He came after the game.
He said after the game it was a stylistical choice or a schematical choice, and that is the wrong scheme.
And one thing I feel like we could have did different, and me and Eazy were kind of talking about it while we were there, just even like using Ron Holland just to go pick up some fouls. Like go hit Brunson or something. Guard Brunson and just hit him. So those fouls go on him instead of Asar maybe.
Yeah. And he also got to line well in the series.
And he could pick up
100%.
94 feet.
Yeah.
But he made some very, very
passes
bad mistakes in game 5. And that's why he didn't. That is the exact reason why. If he wouldn't have made those mistakes, they would have gave him a couple minutes to spell Asar. Yeah. But what he did in game 5 could have almost costed him that game.
They were on a 9-0 run.
Yeah.
As soon as he went out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I can't be all the way mad at JB for riding with your vets, the people that you trust more. Like,
no, I can't.
I can't be mad. I'm not mad at him for not playing Ron Holland. I'm mad at him for taking.
That's the crime. And you know, to go all the way back when we hired him. Remember, I was kind of lukewarm on it. I liked him. I didn't love him. And part of the reason was my fear of, is he a good playoff coach? Is he a good playoff coach? And to me, I didn't like what I saw in that Cleveland series against the Knicks, where the Knicks mollywopped him. I thought he didn't make the right coaching adjustments. He didn't make the right... And even the Knicks media is saying, fire Tibbs. Tibbs was coaching terribly. Yeah. And so I think JB just... I do still have to see him grow as a playoff coach. There is that concern.
I like the adjustments he made, because you're right. That is what the knock on JB Bickerstaff is can he coach in the playoffs? Can he be a playoff coach? He needs to be better, and I like the adjustments he made. I like the from game to game, like the game-to-game adjustments he made. But his rotations were questionable.
Yeah,
at best.
Yeah, in game stuff too. Like we didn't talk about it yet, but the challenges, some of the challenges. So there's.
I didn't like that last
game
one.
Six,
yeah,
great challenge.
Yeah, great challenge. Great challenge.
I didn't like the second one.
In the rest of the series,
I like the second one.
No, you should have. Yeah, you should have got that one, and that was a free one because after 2 minutes you can't challenge.
No, but it's not.
Yeah, I know.
No, if you look
They're
at
not gonna give it to
if you
him.
look at how you're trained and how you're playing, it's not an off arm. That left.
I thought he hit him
has
in
to
the
be
jaw
fully
first,
extended
but
out.
yeah.
It's got to be fully extended out, and he's going up like this. So
if he would have made
if it would've
any
been out,
contact,
if
he would have made any contact, and that's why they challenged it, because Schroeder said he hit me in the mouth.
Kind of flopped
and if he would have made any contact with that elbow to Schroeder's mouth, they would have been the other way, but he didn't, so it stood.
What would you guys grade JB then? What would you grade him
in the series?
In the series, yeah.
C plus.
C plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'm with that. That sounds.
I was gonna say B minus.
I'm looking back right now. That shot that we were talking about, that Brunson made under the rim.
Yeah,
that's when JB put Asar back in.
Oh, he put after that?
That was on Schroeder.
Because Asar would have just said, "Get that weak shit out of here, dude." Like,
yeah. Pulling him out was.
Man, that shit that cost you the game. That cost you the game.
Yeah.
Flat out. You want to look at, obviously, they still could have won. They still could have done a lot of different things to win. Their defensive rebounding was fucking awful in the fourth quarter. That was awful. You got to box out. There were 4 different occasions where nobody boxed out. Asar was one of them.
Yeah, that one was...
Asar and Dennis Schroeder let the ball drop right in between both
Brunson
of them.
Brunson
got it. Inexcusable.
I was like, was Schroeder, am I watching a weird angle where he didn't have access to that? Or he just didn't try?
Neither of them tried. They both thought the other one was going to get it. Nobody went for it.
I'd rather you...
Asar didn't box out. Mikal Bridges, he had the tip in. Inexcusable. Jalen Duren has a tip out. Nobody goes for the ball. Karl Anthony Towns gets it 10 feet behind the three-point line. Inexcusable. Jalen Duren wins that tip ball. Nobody's there to grab it. It goes out of bounds, goes to the Knicks. Inexcusable. But if I'm looking at one thing that cost you that game, it's JB Bickerstaff taking Asar out in the fourth quarter. You can't do it.
Absolutely, because that's what I thought JB was making a mistake this series, was trying to offensively keep up rather than just leaning all the way into defense. And I think that was your calling card. And you saw games where Asar, like obviously his heroic game 5, where he was actually a huge asset offensively, but for the most part of the series he wasn't. So I get that, but I just feel like, again, the defense was your calling card. You should have stuck with the defense, stuck with defensive rotations rather than favoring the offense. I get trying to get Cade a little bit of rest, get a little juice here and there.
Asar got going offensively.
Asar
weak side dunker spot.
Asar is just as impactful offensively as Dennis Schroeder. He is just as impactful offensively as Dennis Schroeder.
And why was that just all of a sudden there that whole game 5 and not at all game 6? I want to rewatch the tape to see if the Knicks were doing something, because it really wasn't there. They only went to it a couple times.
Yeah.
Real quick, Luigi Gaming super chat in there. He says his rotations were fine. He wasn't working with a full deck. Ivy and Stu would have been game changers.
No,
absolutely.
Stu would have.
His rotations were not fine. But those guys would have been game changers.
Stu would have been a game changer. I don't know about Ivy.
As
much as I love Ivy,
I agree.
He can control the floor, but I mean,
hits clutch buckets.
It's hard.
They're minus.
Notoriously hits clutch buckets.
And they're like minus 130.
Can you tell who's related in this building?
Yeah.
Chris, they were hitting all of those passes in game 5. You know, they were connecting on them, but literally they just could not take care of the basketball for the life of them. Asar was open on those. He couldn't handle the passes. Jalen Duren couldn't catch a ball to save his goddamn life. And it's just plays that they've made continuously all season. They weren't able to make them yesterday.
They also guarded it differently too. If you watch, they left Cat sagging off from Duren, so that backside lob wasn't open. He kind of sagged a little bit, and that's why Duren was getting those hooks that he was getting. Is because they just started
Duren
to
at the
sag
free throw
off.
line. Duren had a couple nice post hooks.
Some nice
I'd like
hooks.
to see that.
I would have loved to see that all series.
Yeah. But he's got to play better defense is what we need out of him. China Virus says, why not Schroeder at 1 and Cade at 2? Because Cade's a point guard, and he is the best player.
Well, I liked those minutes. I wasn't mad at it.
It would just be Dennis bringing the ball up the court, them getting Cade open,
coming off off
him
ball
getting the ball, and then running another pick and roll.
I think it hurts. You didn't have another. It's tough because it's a person off the bench anyway. You're asking for maybe a little too much. We didn't have another like true stretch 4 beyond Tobias.
No,
anytime he had, and he's unk, so he needs the breaks.
Not even a stretch 4. Paul Reed was getting minutes, and no disrespect to B-ball Paul, but that can't happen when you're trying to beat the Knicks.
Yeah, not a playoff guy.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it's.
And that's exactly what we've been saying on here. They need a stretch 4.
Yeah.
Jalen Rose came out and said it the other night.
You
need a stretch 4 that can space the floor and hit shots.
Yeah. If Cade has any type of shooting in the front court, that is going to just unlock Cade Cunningham.
How
him
good,
coming off a Sabonis screen.
How good the pick and roll with Jalen Duren is because he is such an athletic finisher, but a pick and roll and a pick and pop you can run with Sabonis with Cade would be unstoppable.
Like imagine Cade in that SGA place with those weapons in OKC, like the shooting that they have, the spacing that they have when they can go 5 out with Chet too. Like
that's what you got to do.
Oh my god!
You don't have a first round pick, so you got to get somebody in free agency or trade.
I know we're going to be throwing out names all summer long as we do. Where are you guys at with Kevin Durant possibly coming to Detroit?
I mean, fuck yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
What would you guys be willing to give up to get Kevin Durant?
You want to go to break?
Fun
come back have that conversation?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Want to tell us about Buddy's Pizza?
I'll tell you about Buddy's Pizza. Durant is going to cost a lot. That's the only thing.
38 years old?
I know he's old, but he's still Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he's still Kevin Durant.
He's going to. I think
we'll get into it.
Yeah. Buddy's Pizza created the category of the original Detroit-style pizza and has been serving it since 1946. With 22 locations in Michigan, there's always a Buddy's Pizza near you. Buddy's is a cornerstone of the city of Detroit, being here for 79 years, and is a dedicated community partner. With notable partnerships with local organizations like Michigan Humane Society, the Salvation Army, the Detroit Zoo, and more. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's promo code, the numbers 10, and then MEAL. Go find a location near you today at buddyspizza.com.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Jars Cannabis wants to welcome everyone to Deli Day, a statewide celebration on May 3rd to
Tomorrow.
kick off the full deli-style experience. Jars will host Deli Day on May 3rd, offering a stacked-up lineup of in-store promotions. Guys, everybody, customers receive up to a free eighth of flour, up to $20 of value. Take advantage of the buy one, get one deals on the deli-style flour up to an ounce. That's buy one, get one free ounces. And the first 100 customers will score a free half ounce. The date marks a significant milestone for Jars as it's the anniversary of its retailer opening its very first store in Detroit, a fitting tribute to the roots, the continued evolution. For more information on Deli Day and to participating locations, visit www.shopjars.com or follow them at jars_life on Instagram for updates. That was a mouthful. Pause. Welcome back to Wood Heavyweights Live on sports.com. Means you must be more action on Chris Nicholas Kohloff and Jerry, a.k.a. Shampoo, whatever nickname, the Cougar Slayer, maybe soon. You know, I don't know. My man was...
Tarzan?
It felt weird, though. Like, she was hot, for sure. Like...
Felt like a setup?
It's just, he's so young.
I mean, Jerry looks like he can handle himself.
Yeah, but like, it's
happened to my
just
friend once.
when a bitch is like 40, it feels predatory, I
Yeah.
guess. You know what I'm saying? When he says that, yeah, that's why I felt. I felt like I was feeding him to a real fucking cougar. Like, here.
My brother's friend, John, that happened to him at a bar once. This girl, like, set him up. She was, like, talking to him and stuff. And they go out, and he's, walking to a car, and these two big-ass dudes come out from...
no.
But he is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he kicked the fucking shit out of both of the guys. Both of them on the floor, bleeding and shit. Girl screams, runs away. The bouncer, like, runs over there. He's like, dude, I saw what happened, and I saw you guys, like, flirting all night, so I get what happened. But you should probably get the fuck out of here. This doesn't look good.
Fucked him up that bad. Yeah, that's crazy. That's terrifying.
Oh, they gave my man a fist bump. And
Raging red
and,
rocket
like, this guy,
too.
if you guys saw John and knew... He is the nicest, most mild-mannered, middle-aged, 5'10" white dude.
That's how jiu-jitsu killers are.
Yeah, dude.
They're like chill ass, because they know.
Yeah, they can kill you. They can kill you with their bare hands.
Snap, nap, or
you don't have
baby.
to have too many worries when you could just do
It's
that
like
to
Bruce
anybody.
Lee. I love the picture of... it was either Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee in like a...
Racist.
It was Bruce Lee, or it was Jackie Chan in like a mesh shirt. It was like, you can dress however you want if nobody can kick your ass.
That's so true.
Oh, yeah, Easy, can't you... Did you say you could kick Bruce Lee's ass? Was that what you said?
Yeah,
Back
Bruce
in the day,
Lee.
yes, Bruce Lee, yeah. Jackie Chan, probably not. Probably not.
Bruce Lee's a small guy, but
He was a little guy.
I still got Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
This version of me, no. I can't hardly raise my fucking arm up.
Yeah, you gotta hit up Dr. Pierce or something, dude.
Yeah, I do gotta hit up Dr. Pierce about that. Either way, we talked about the Detroit Pistons getting better. What do they need to do this summer to take that next step to be better? And
I saw one in the chat that we talked about on BDE that I really liked, and it's not the Kevin Durant, it's not the Sabonis, it's not whoever. This would probably come along with making a trade because you would more than likely be getting rid of Duran in this situation. But Joe says Brook Lopez would be good coming off the bench at the 5, help stretch the floor and hit some big shots when needed. Brook Lopez is a free agent. I believe he's 37 years old. I would sign Brook Lopez to a 2-year contract to pay him a little bit more than the veteran minimum. He is an elite three-point shooter still. He is an elite rim protector still. That would be perfect for what this team
You're
is.
fighting LA for him, though.
Yeah, that is true. He's probably going to go back to the Lakers.
Yeah, you're fighting LA for him.
Known Pistons killer, Brook
Known
Lopez.
Pistons killer.
I would love that.
Yeah.
really, yeah.
It's not like you're not going to sign him to a 10-year deal or anything like that, but to get a piece to help you win right now, Brook Lopez would be exactly what you need. A pick and pop with Brook Lopez and Cade.
I don't think he's coming cheap, though. I really don't.
I think he's
older, dude.
He'll sign a veteran minimum somewhere, probably not Detroit, but you could get him for a decent deal. It's not like
think
you
like
he'll get like a mid-level
I was
to
thinking
LA.
more. At least I think
Under
it starts
10.
with a 10.
I would say under 10. You could get him I'd say like 9 to 11.
I'm gonna look
is
up
what
a
he would
projected contract for him.
cost. Yeah.
Who'd you say before Brook Lopez?
That was the one that's the one I
Oh, it's Brook Lopez.
Well, just that would be like
And I
feel like
realistic one.
if you're signing Brook Lopez, that means you're making a trade where Duran isn't going to be here next year, or Stu.
Really?
Because you're not going to have 3 centers.
I
You're
mean,
not going to pay Brook Lopez to be your 3rd center. You know.
But you don't see a world in which he can like play minutes with Stu and stuff.
And then Stu's at the 4.
Then Stu's at the 4, and I
Yeah.
don't want that. I guess Lopez could be out of the paint, but no, you are paying Lopez to be your center.
It's probably a harder market, but I'm looking at the 4 for that reason.
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of Jalen Duren. Like I like Jalen Duren. He's
I
only
like
21 years
I
old.
like Jalen Duren.
I like our 48
what
minutes
he
of center
showed
we
me
have.
in the last game gave me all the confidence I need in his offensive game to get there.
Yeah, the most points in that fourth quarter
with
for
the
us.
8 of 9 from free throw, money, and they all look. And I know I've been saying this since fucking summer league. Like his jumper doesn't look bad at all. He just doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
It looks clean. It looks fluid. It's not like hiccupy or ugly. It looks like a nice jump shot. So I believe he'll be able to get some kind of mid-range game, whether that be a couple post hooks like he hit. He hit a couple little jump hooks last night. He just missed that fucking lob and hook from like 10 feet out.
He had that one crazy lob from Cade that was kind of dangerous, so he still hit it and won that bitch.
I think Duren's offensive game can expand to be very good for what he is, but the defense is where he's got to be better, man.
Yeah.
He
It's
has
so
to be
weird.
better.
I don't know if I was talking with you last night or the other guy at the bar, but it's like, no, I think it was you. It's because he's so athletic. It's just weird he gets beat off the dribble like that. It's like,
I think it's because he plays on his toes, though.
I don't
It's
even
the
mean, I don't
lateral.
even- if it's him, like, you don't got to be a Draymond Green on the perimeter. Show.
Just get in front of someone.
Show. Don't get beat by stretch fives. But you gotta protect the rim at an extremely high
100%.
level. That's what I need. I need you to be an intimidating paint presence than I need. If you can't be a guy that guards on the perimeter, you have to have people scared to go into your paint. And right now he's neither.
100%.
So many wide open threes, so many missed rebounds. And it starts from getting cooked off the ball. Like Brunson was doing whatever he wanted to with us, collapsing our defense. So many open threes. It was ridiculous. It was flat out just unacceptable.
Yeah. It's I love Duren's potential. I'm all for re-signing Jalen Duren, but the defense he needs some drastic improvements.
Yeah,
he
does. He showed strides though this year.
He
so
did.
like you have encouraged, but it's consistency, and it's like you said, specifically on the perimeter where he struggles. He could definitely be more than he is on the perimeter with his athleticism, with his speed. He could definitely be a better perimeter defender, and you need that. You're right. You don't need the world. You just need to be able to show, not get beat by the slow stretch fives. Don't get beat by a Brook Lopez or whatever. Like you have to just be able to not lose those races. It's crazy.
I don't think they're making the trade this year. I don't think I don't think it's going to happen. I think they want to see these guys develop, and they want to see a full team. They want to see their whole team go out there and do that.
Where are you guys at with KD? I know we touched on it briefly.
Yeah, I would love that.
Are you guys giving up Ivy a first and
yes,
whatever?
I give Ivy.
What if it's Ivy and Holland?
I was gonna say, yep. I give Ivy, Holland.
You guys making that trade? Because it seems like
you think that's all it would take to get KD?
At 38,
I think it would take more.
Gives them.
You're talking about fucking Brook Lopez.
I think you
KD's
give
values 10 times.
You give Holland, Ivy, Fontecchio, and a first.
Ain't nobody want Fontecchio.
I think you got to give a second first if Fontecchio's in the deal.
Fontecchio stays.
Yeah, no one taking Fontecchio.
But Easy, no an Ivy. I'm not a fucking Ivy hater. I'm just the only person writing the whole fucking thing.
Let's go to break. Well, we could talk about like trades and stuff when we get back. We could propose a couple and see what one we like the best.
Let's do it.
Sound good?
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where everybody can get a full-body workout in 30 minutes. All memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month. Or upgrade to the Black Card, get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever It's Live on Sports.com. Eazy, much more action. Chris Nicholas Kohloff.
Hello.
Young Jer in the building as well.
Jer.
I'm not necessarily proposing any trade specifically. I will definitely listen and hear you guys out. It's just so, I don't know what they're going to do. I can see both scenarios where, like, one, you may want to see what the Ivy situation is alongside Asar Thompson, because, like, in fairness to Ivy, he didn't get to play with Asar Thompson this year.
Yep.
And I think that was the biggest difference in
I think Ivy would have had a more impact in that series than Tim Hardaway Jr. and Dennis Schroeder.
It's arguable for sure.
Like I don't think
say
adding
you're
Ivy
wrong.
is a negative to this team. Like obviously Asar Thompson is extremely important, but it's not, you know, a joke that he hits clutch shots. He has done that his whole career. Go back to college. The guy hits clutch shots. You could use that type of playmaker, that type of explosiveness when it comes down to breaking a half-court defense is going to do nothing but help.
Hit like 2 clutch shots, but it's all right. I can't argue it. I think a secondary score probably could have helped you, and Ivy, that's kind of what he does. So it's very much on the floor. I'm not gonna go be vehemently against it. Obviously, we had a negative net rating with him. We're below 500 with him, but maybe JB had figured out the puzzle at that point. You know, and again, Asar Thompson wasn't there, so that could be part of the equation as well. But for the Pistons this offseason, I could see a scenario where if Devin Booker, if that door does present itself, that opportunity presents itself, I can see him taking the swing at it. He's a souped-up version of
What do you
Eazy,
give up for it?
Pretty far into the playoffs.
Jaden Ivey on this season is tied for 4th in clutch scoring on the Pistons team this season, while playing a quarter of the season.
Not impressed.
Like he scores late.
Is that averages or total?
As
total,
score,
I assume.
Points,
Okay.
clutch points scored this
Okay.
season. Jaden Ivey is tied for 4th on the Pistons.
What do you give
behind
up for
Cade
D-Book?
Malik and Tobias? He's tied for 3rd. Sorry.
What do you give up for D-Book?
That's the real question.
You want me to throw a package?
You'd have to give up everything.
Yeah.
You would have to give up.
You might have to give up Asar in that case.
You would have to give up Asar, Ivy, 3 first-round picks, and Ron Holland. Probably.
See, I think you can get away without giving to Asaro. Like I think Ivy is
because they don't want Duren.
No.
If they don't want you can't give Duren and Ivy to somebody because they'll have to sign both of them to rookie maxes. They're not going to do that.
Tobias and some picks can get her done.
I don't think so.
No. I don't
3 or 4 first-round picks?
No.
You wouldn't do it? Or
no, they're going to want more.
They're going to want more because if a superstar is going anywhere, you're calling OKC first, and they can give you anything your heart desires.
I mean, you got to think it's a guy that you don't want to get rid of. Like they want him to be there for. It's like they want him
Ivy
to
was
be
the
there.
man.
I love. I was talking about D-Book.
Oh.
D-Book, they don't want to get rid of him, so you're gonna have to put everything on the table.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
get
make them accept it. And you don't have the asset.
You
The
don't.
only team in the NBA right now, maybe the Nets, maybe the Rockets,
The
that
Rockets,
have
because
have
they
the
have their
assets to
picks.
say choke on a deal is the Thunder. And that's what. If Giannis doesn't play for Milwaukee,
He's going to the Thunder.
If Giannis doesn't play for Milwaukee next year, he's playing for OKC.
If they want him.
That would be ridiculous.
And they would be able to keep
everything.
Dort, SGA, Jalen Williams. They might have to give up Chet, but still.
Yeah.
I'll take Giannis over.
Houston's a team that's very interesting because they own Phoenix's pick, so they are probably going to get either one of Booker or Durant. Like that's just
I don't think the Pistons are making the trade this summer.
Yeah.
I don't. I think they want to see this team
Yeah.
with a healthy Beef Stew and a healthy Jaden Ivey and a year 2 Ron Holland and hopefully Asar Thompson getting more offensive production. And I don't blame him.
But see now,
I don't blame him.
If Sabonis hits the table, then I'm thinking about doing a trade.
Oh yeah,
this
if Sabonis.
If he hits the table, I'll give up Ivy. I'll give up Holland. I'll give up 3 picks for Sabonis. And they're not going to want him, but I'll throw Fontecchio in there.
Because the other thing is, like,
are we crazy for just wanting to give up Holland
like,
so quick?
Huh?
Are we crazy for wanting to give up
a
Holland
little
so
bit,
quick?
but it's hard to
a little bit,
compete
but he's
with
one of the best assets you have.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I'm just
his potential, how young he is, and what he's already shown that he can do in the league.
Series, do you think that brings down his trade value?
No, he's a rookie.
Yeah, no, he's young. I was just say it's crazy too because like coming into this offseason, like I think safe bet they probably don't do anything because you obviously want to see what Ivy is. But like in reality though, we really haven't got to see Trajan Cook because he came into the situation so late.
That is true.
And we didn't really have a war chest to make any type of crazy moves.
If they're gonna make a trade, it's not gonna be for a superstar.
No. It could be though that tier below, like Lauri Markkanen. Like it could be that fits your stretch four, and that's probably not that's not the cost of Devin Booker.
And they do have to pay Ivy and Duren coming up.
Yeah.
So that is something
that's why I think it's more realistic.
They're going to have to make a decision on.
But I think they're just going to let that roll out next season. Like they're going to make both Ivy and Duren, force them to sign them to like big contracts. Like they're going to give them, hey, this is like show me what you got this year, and you'll see. I'm looking at free agents too, because if we don't think. I don't think they make a move either.
I don't think so.
So free agent wise, you do have guys. Everybody's brought up Naz Reid, John Collins.
Oh, Reid would be
John Collins would be great too. John
He
Collins
can't shoot outside though.
John Collins shot 40% from 3 this year.
How many attempts?
Yeah, I'm like fucking.
On like I think 3 or 5. Let me look it up.
Keep going though. I'll look it up. You keep going.
Talking.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Middleton, you're not interested in. Miles Turner, also another free agent. Where again, that would be big. That would be big commitment.
That would be
4 attempts. He shot 39%.
Yeah.
He's a career 36% shooter on 3 attempts a game.
Yeah. So yeah, very
Miles
solid.
Turner come here and play the 5.
1-3 a game. That's not that. He's not a shooter. That's 1-3 a game.
Yeah.
Bringing his Lego sets. Wow.
Miles Turner, fuck yeah.
I'm here for that's the perfect.
Naz Reid, fuck yeah. John Collins, I'd accept, but. Nah, I'm
now
not.
You could go.
Look at how nasty Kate is in the pick and roll. Get about pick and pop.
Yes, that's
dude.
Right.
If you like Pistons' dream scenario is if you like get Miles Turner and then you trade Duren with Ivy in a package for like Book, and then you're just like,
oh, dude,
that's the dream.
Just talking
crazy.
I got goosebumps when you said that shit.
But that is
reckless.
That's the dream, though. You know what I mean?
I love Duren though, but
I would.
But because if you sign Miles Turner,
three,
you could trade Duren.
Miles Turner would be the best option, I think, because he is an extremely good rim protector. He's up for Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, Dorian Finney-Smith, my guy, is a free agent. That's a big target.
I think Indy's going to pay him a max contract.
Because they don't got to pay Matt, or they got to pay Matthews.
Another guy that you brought up, Easy.
I'm paying Miles Turner over Matthews.
Another guy you brought up, Easy, is Jabari Smith off of Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know if they get rid of him, but he's a younger guy. He comes off the bench.
But he's restricted, though, so you have to sign him to like a deal that the other team doesn't want to pay. Like, you have to overpay, you know what I mean?
But they got so many guys on their team. Sengun, Jalen Green.
Yeah, he's
but they're still going to make it.
Jabari Smith's going to be the odd man out on that team for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because you're paying Amon.
Or Green.
You have to pay Jalen Green. You have to.
Well, they did. They extended him, remember?
They got. they already did. They got to pay Sengun.
Right, and I bet you we could come up with the offer to pick up Jabari Smith.
Yeah. Or they just...
And he's not that bad either. Like he's
got potential.
Yeah, for sure.
I like he plays defense. That's the one thing too that kept offsetting the turnovers a little bit for me, or just like the whole conversation. Cade, I fucking love him on defense. Like his blocks on skill, like Jalen Brunson.
When he blocked that heart dunk.
Come on, man.
I mean, Cade is a. I don't want to say great. He is a good defender.
Yeah.
His length and his size allows him to block smaller guards a lot.
In modern NBA, when no one plays defense, like
that's why, dude. I said it before. Him, Ron, and Asar are going to be a top 3 defensive trio in the NBA. And I
used to say I used to think you were crazy. You used to say like him over Lucas stuff. Seeing the defense in the playoffs like this season, and having the expectation that maybe he does take a little bit of a jump next year, at least turn down the turnovers a little bit.
Turn down the turnovers. Get
at minimum
2 more points. Better shooting percentage from 3.
Maybe worth it. Maybe able to have a conversation. You know, I ain't gonna knock it down. But I do think something happens this season because, you do got to start paying some guys. Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey.
I agree.
Again,
it may happen at the deadline, though.
Let me just throw out this name. My guy, I threw him out at the trade deadline. Really wanted him. Or in December, then he got traded immediately. Was Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith is a free agent. 40% from 3 this year on 4 attempts. Would love to have a guy like that. We mentioned Brook Lopez.
They have
as well.
high numbers, but I feel like 4. You can't base a shooter off 4 attempts.
He's a good 3-and-D player though.
That's
that's
what
he's
need.
not a star.
He's
he could.
But I think
play 4.
I think this team.
Sexy,
I think this team. You saw a blueprint that's successful.
You'd have to trade for him. You said.
No, you'd sign him in free agency.
That'd be a good signing.
So yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but
all day.
Instead of Fontecchio, you got him.
Yeah, I love Fontecchio. I did. Yeah. He duped us.
He duped us.
So
he didn't the fucking
it was the fucking everybody loved the Italian answer. Still one of the coolest sellies in the league.
Playing defense and shit last year. Like, what the fuck, dude?
You
fucking lied to us.
He fell off the planet this year.
He just wanted that. He didn't want that bread.
Yeah,
he did. He did. But I'll say this. Let me just say this. The reason why I'm interested in signing role players is, one, I think that's kind of a more realistic, like Kelly Oubre, Dorian Finney-Smith. I think those are more realistic free agent targets for the Pistons. And also, I think the concept of what we saw in the playoffs. If Tobias is hitting his shots consistently at Beasley, Tim Hardaway is hitting his shots, like that was a blueprint that could have gone really far. It's just the things were not working the way they were during the regular season. So I really think that with internal improvement with the young guys, plus these veterans that know their design-specific roles and execute them well, I think that team can go very, very far. Like I don't necessarily. You do need a Robin eventually to contend for a championship, but you could be a really, really good team even if it's just Cade with a bunch of the right role players. Like I think this team at its highest can, in those roles, players in that role could be a second round, third round team. But you need that Robin to get you to past that and championship.
This is gonna sound a little crazy, but that team is good enough to go and lose to Boston. I think, I think we're good enough to go into the second round, and we don't win that. We don't win that series, but we have a better chance to come out with a game or two than New York does. New York is banged up, and then you just and then for Brunson, like you gotta feel bad for him. He's coming off playing a SAR for 6 games, and now you got to deal with Drew Holiday
and Derek White.
Yeah, and
Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. They're gonna throw everybody at him.
And Drew Holiday is a much smarter defender than Asar. He's not as athletic, but he's a lot smarter.
Yeah,
it's gonna be rough for him. And
Drew Holiday's a free agent?
No, I'm just saying. Brunson going in and playing Boston.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get swept.
Yeah,
Boston in 3. All right, let's go to break. We're gonna come back.
Mad Packs.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say what was up next, Chris.
Oh, I thought you were
looking for. Let me tell you about Mad Packs. Spenmo Rax here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they're partnering with Woodward Sports. You know what that means? I am going to be feeling good all summer long. Mad Packs is going to take your game to the next level. High-low, delivering you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality, unbeatable prices. Boom Shakalaka. Boom Shakalaka is a live resin-infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Packs, THCA Moon Rocks that hit like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers in May 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports Network for all the latest updates. It's Mad Packs.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Mitt joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
What up, welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live, WoodSports.com. He's joined by Raxter and Chris, Nicholas Kohloff. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. We got two places we can take this show right now. And I want you, the chat, to decide. Because I saw
Tigers.
My man Chef in there. We got Tigers on there. We can Chef up the Tigers. We got some NFC North draft class reactions.
Yeah.
We also got what veterans should we re-sign for these Detroit Pistons. But I need you guys in the chat right now. Even if it's like 1 to 2 or 3 of you guys.
Please don't vote please don't vote Lions, dude.
Somebody got to vote and let us know what we're talking about.
Or it's not even Lions. It's just NFC North.
See?
Pistons just signed on.
They just signed who?
Spenny was so depressed last night. You're right. I was.
Dude, I was.
But then I put my tongue in your mom's fart box and it made me feel better, Tribe.
God damn. They just say you were sad because of the Pistons loss.
No, I didn't read the rest of the comment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, Lions, Tigers.
I was like, that didn't sound that bad.
I had a chili dog at the end of the night, but it's when I was pulling out of your mom's butthole.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. All right, so we got Pistons, Lions, Tigers, Pistons.
Tigers.
2 Pistons, another Tigers. Tigers. I think Tigers might be winning right now. Anakin, what's the question? You failed. Round the diamond.
You failed, Fed.
With Spencer Morgan J. Raxter III.
Okay. Last night, my guy, they called me a madman multiple times before the season and during the season at the game. Javi Baez, second dong in 2 games, 410, nuke, and a home run robbing and potentially game saving catch. Is Javi back?
That was a dirty catch.
That was nasty. That guy's a
good
fantastic. Oh yeah, he's probably the best athlete on the team.
Yeah, that was. He's a dog in the outfield. It's kind of surprising for me at least. You guys known baseball, Tigers way longer than me. But isn't like this first time playing center field other than like the other night?
Ever.
That's nuts.
He's a nasty
one over the fucking
Willie
Mays.
NFL
Literally Willie Mays.
Yeah, dude. What?
Insane run that Javi Baez is on. He is currently tied for second highest WAR on the Detroit Tigers with a 1.2 WAR, which is on pace. If he plays 162 games, which obviously we've been giving him like good opportunities in spots, he's on pace for a 7.4 WAR, which is absolutely insane. It'd be better than his MVP runner-up season back in 2015 with the Chicago Cubs. That's how good Javi Baez has been. It's not just a generational comeback here. Like, this is absolutely incredible. I think I put this in the chat here. Buy or sell Baez, comeback player of the year.
Buy. I mean, if he keeps going how he is, he's got to be, right? He was the worst player. He was the worst player in the history of Major League Baseball over the past 2 years. And right now he has a positive WAR. He's hitting around 300. He's got an over 750 OPS.
Sell.
That's an absolute buy.
The buy, Spencer Torkelson. That is your comeback player of the year. Literally was sent down to the minors.
And Javi was worse.
MVP talks.
Javi was worse.
Casey Mize.
Statistically, yeah, but this guy didn't even get to get down to worse because they sent them down. It's Spencer Torkelson because the turnaround is so much more dramatic and drastic too.
I think Javi's turnaround is more drastic.
No, it's not. He's still bad.
Torque hit, 10 home runs last year? He's not bad.
Javi?
He is a good MLB player right now.
Defensively.
And offensively.
Back-to-back bombs.
He's hitting the ball
hitting
well.
Almost 300, 750 OPS, playing elite defense. I mean, this is crazy to say because I will tell you straight up, I didn't want the guy on the team. I thought it was a joke that he was still on the roster. And he has completely changed the narrative around him to start this MLB season. And he is a big reason why the Detroit Tigers are the best team in the American League, which is crazy. And he's wreaking havoc on the base paths again.
Yes.
Taking extra bases.
It's Spencer Torkelson, by far, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's hard to argue. I mean, Spencer Torkelson's just having an unreal run as well, which I'm thrilled about.
Even going through a little bit of a drought, bang back on it last night.
Javier Baez could legitimately be an all-star if he keeps up this pace, which is insane to say. But he is literally on a better pace right now for his WAR. That I'm just gonna say it again.
Okay.
Than he was when he was MVP runner-up with the Cubs. Crazy what Javi Baez is doing. But speaking of buy or sell here.
Real quick.
Yep.
Sorry, I just wanted to check the stats between the two of them.
It's tied WAR.
They're tied at WAR. Javi's batting average is 60 points higher. Torkelson's OPS is like 120 points higher. Javi only has 2 less hits than Torkelson in 30 less at bats.
Hashtag new hit Javi.
I'm just saying, like, Javi, the jokes aside, Javier Baez is objectively having a good season. And it's awesome. You need that. Torque is too. No, not taking away anything from Torque, but Javi was lower than where Torque was, and right now they are both playing very well.
Yeah, give me Torque all day.
All right, boys, buy or sell. Dylan Dingler is going to be an all-star.
Buy.
That's my boy. You guys know this. I ain't gonna go against it. Buy.
I'm buying it.
Dongs all day, boys.
Dude,
come on now.
The American League catching position in the All-Star game is a rotational door. It is a new guy every year. There is nobody that's like, I'm going to be there every year except for Salvi Perez. After that, it is a different guy every year. He's got an 800 OPS. He's got a 290 batting average. He's got 4 bombs, 15 RBIs.
Yeah.
And he's got a cannon. He's one of the best at getting the ball down the second. You can't run on him. He has the 2 fastest throws from behind home plate in the MLB this year.
That's insane.
Like, the guy is,
I didn't know that.
is playing like an all-star.
Oh, I did know that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he for sure is. I'm buying this. I think he is obviously your catcher for the future. At this point, I think he has run with the job, and you had
Obviously,
to see Jake Rogers to go down.
MLB, but he looks really good. If he keeps this up, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the starter now. I mean, that's not even a question.
Sure.
But how long has it been, fellas, since we've gotten production from the catching position? Alex Avila?
Yeah,
All-star,
1 year Alex Avila.
1 year Alex Avila.
Yeah.
Literally, like, this has transformed this offense because we are finally, like, getting offensive production from your catcher.
He's had some clutch hits, too.
Yeah, very clutch hits. Yeah,
And
I'm loving it.
Dude's a stallion. He is a big man.
Yeah. He used to play center field at OSU.
Yeah, he's an athlete, dude.
Yep. Yeah. I was hopefully I see him soon. I'm going to try to ask him about Tyleek.
Oh, yeah.
Breakdown.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Good
That'd be
question.
sweet.
Thinking about that. All right, buy or sell. The Detroit Tigers are World Series contenders.
Buy. Absolutely. They're the best team in the American League right now. They are the first team in the MLB to 20 wins. They got Chris Fetter. They have one of the best pitching staffs, if not the best pitching staff in baseball. It's been a little shaky here the past couple games, but still, yeah, they are, and they're going to get more. They're going to get healthier. They're getting Veerling back soon. Hopefully, Parker Meadows after that. Riley Green is back. His slump is gone. The dude is raking right now. You're getting this out of Baez, Torkelson, and Dingler. I was wrong, or they're proving me wrong. Hopefully, they do completely prove me wrong. They look like the best team in the American League right now, and I can't definitively point at a team in the American League that I could say would beat the Tigers in a playoff series. Not the Yankees, not the Rangers, not nobody.
Nick?
I'm buying this. I mean, you're doing all of this without Parker Meadows, who is a legitimate Gold Glove type center fielder. You're going to put Veerling at third because Jace Young can't hit worth a lick.
Yeah, he's got to go.
I'm putting Veerling at third. I'm putting Baez at shortstop. Trey Sweeney on the bench or demoted at this point. We'll see what happens. But
get out of here.
Baez short. Honestly, I mean, Torres, that's maybe even think about DH and Torres a little bit. Maybe get McKinstry in there. Yeah. So
you're going to DH one of them.
This team this has been so much fun to start this season for the Detroit Tigers. Like, we had a gauntlet to get through, and they didn't just get through it. They are legitimately the best team in the American League. This pitching staff's incredible. Even like Mize giving up 4 runs last night, it's like, we're surprised.
Yeah.
When a pitcher gives up 4 runs.
And he locked in.
Yeah.
And he locked in.
7 strong.
And he got a good game out of it.
Yep.
You know, and he got the win. So, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, loving
and
this
they're getting healthier at the pitching rotation, too.
Yep.
Goodbye, Maeda. Brisky hopefully coming back soon. Kopp, we don't know, but still that'll be an arm that will help you. Yeah, they're only going up from here.
Super excited.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading the chat.
Oh, you're good. These late games in the fucking LA are crazy.
Dog, I was talking to Scotty, and he was like, 1:30 in the morning, like, I'm trying to go to sleep. I was texting about the Pistons. He's like, I got to fucking do this Locked On Tigers.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
I was still getting over the Pistons. I mean, thank God the Tigers were smacking last night.
Yeah, it was a dong show. Torres, Javi, Torque, Dingler, all bombs, too. The craziest part was Torkelson's was probably the cheapest out of all of them. Javi and Torres were both 410 plus. Dingler's was a nuke. I mean, it's hard to get a cheap home run in the Angels ballpark there. That's one where you got to fucking get a hold of one, and they all did. But let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll do mailbag, but first, tell us about Loom, Nick.
Spring is in the air, and Michigan is buzzing. 7.5 milligrams of real THC wrapped in bubbles. Crafted with real fruit juice and no artificial sweeteners. They are big in flavor but low in calories and 100% hangover free. It's all bubbles with no trouble. Catch it in watermelon, cherry, strawberry, or one of the 2 brand new flavors, raspberry lemonade and peach. Crack a can, take a sip, and catch a buzz. Available at any of Loom's 38 locations across Michigan, and use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order, online or in store. Go to www.loom.com today.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Les Stanford Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive for only $259 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com.
Mailbag from Speakeasy Sports. Tim Hardaway Jr., Dennis Schroeder, Mikel Beasley.
Malik.
All free agents. Malik Beasley, I'm sorry.
I thought you did it on purpose.
No, I didn't. All free agents next year.
Cash.
You got to pay Duren soon. You got to pay Ivy
cash.
soon. Which one of those guys you bringing back?
Malik. No question.
You think you bring just one or two?
You try to bring Schroeder back. You're not going to pay him anything crazy, but if he wants for another cheap deal, yeah. Schroeder isn't a must. I know. I saw it on Twitter a lot. It's like, you got to bring Schroeder back. It's like, you don't got to. You would like to.
Yeah.
I would like Schroeder back. But if he's asking for more than $5 million a year, you're not resigning.
Ivy steps into that Schroeder role for you next year.
Ivy steps into that for sure.
That's what Schroeder was this year with less turnovers.
You got to resign Malik Beasley. Tim Hardaway Jr., thanks. Appreciate you playing for us. Go ring Chase.
When you're second in threes made in the NBA, you got to get re-signed.
Remember,
you're going to get it back.
Neil made a great point. What have we been saying for Cade's entire career? Get him shooting. You get him a guy who's second in the league in threes made, you win 40 games. I know it's not a linear progression, but it definitely helped.
All right. Mailbag. How did this boxing card go unpromoted? DNC NT boxing is dead.
Didn't it start at 4:30?
Jake Paul is like the only one drawing pay-per-view buys, or one of the main draws for pay-per-view buys in your sport is fucking dead. Straight up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Didn't the fight card or something start at?
If it was, I saw Haney
like
and Garcia talking shit again.
Who's even
I'll sign
fighting?
back up for that one. Romero.
Yeah, Romero and
Exactly.
Garcia.
And I'll be straight up with you guys.
I don't know either of them.
Ryan Garcia.
Oh, Ryan
Yeah,
Garcia.
Ryan Garcia.
Oh, yeah. But he's fucking.
But you made the point I was gonna say. Who Romero? Who?
Yeah, and
Who
Ryan
the
Garcia.
fuck is this guy?
I thought he was banging his sister or something. Didn't he go crazy like
What?
last week?
Bro, what?
Didn't he have like a crazy manic episode where he's running around naked and talking about his sister or
That's some of that
something?
Latin porn you've been watching, brother. I don't know.
He definitely went crazy. Ryan.
Was she stuck in a dryer?
Could have been.
Yeah. No, dude, he's helping her out the dryer.
I like the Latinas. All
He
right?
didn't want to do it. He's being a good brother.
No, Ryan Garcia definitely went crazy.
No, yeah, he did. I just don't know if it's as recent as last week.
No, I know. I said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, boxing is dead for sure.
Yeah. Shane East is watching now. That's fine. I mean,
you're probably one of 10 people.
Yeah, you're one of.
We probably
you're
got
one
more
of 100,
viewers.
brother. You're one of 100. Is there any UFC cards tonight?
No,
Or, I'm sorry, tomorrow. Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. Again, talk about dying.
They're on their way.
UFC needs some star power, bad dude.
Bad.
They need Patty to make a long championship belt run.
Yeah.
Didn't their fight card start at like 4:30 today or something?
UFC, no. Boxing probably is.
Oh, boxing.
No, Ryan, we're not doing yours. Yeah, but there's like 20 fights on the undercard of boxing matches.
Oh, okay.
What's going on in the NHL? Did Toronto close it out?
Yep, Toronto closed it out.
Nice.
I
saw the Canes won.
Yeah, Oilers beat the Kings. So yeah, nothing crazy has happened in the.
You got
That feels unpromoted. To be honest with you.
Oh, the NHL playoff. Yeah, the NHL is terrible at promoting everything they do. The NHL could be up there with the NBA and rival the NBA with popularity if they knew how to promote it, because it's so much. Playoff hockey is awesome, dude.
This weekend, Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueroa. Yeah,
that's a good fight.
Bo Nichols fighting as well, and Ponzinibbio's coming back versus Daniel Rodriguez.
That's tomorrow?
Actually, he's kind of a good ass card. Yeah.
Is that in?
It's a fight night. Yeah. Yep.
It's a fight night.
Fight night.
Okay.
For the free ski.
Yeah, might hit the bar then.
Yeah.
Check that out. Well, that'll do it for us today. Appreciate y'all
Jeremy
tapping
Stevens.
in. Make sure you guys have a great weekend. For Easy, for Jerry, for Nick, for Chris.
Go Tigers.
Spenny. We're the heavyweights. Go Tigers. Great season, Pistons.
Great season.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun. We know you're going to come back better than ever next year.
Oh, Devin Hayes fighting this weekend too.
We'll see you guys then. Peace.
See that they're fighting.